Broadcasting to you live from the spiral arm, the Orion spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, somewhere in between the Pacific and Atlantic Ocean. My name is Brian Engelman, and this is Tuesday, November the 26th, 2024. Can you believe we're done with the election? Trump won. Trump won convincingly, all 7 swing states. Complete mandate. You have the House, the Senate, a favorable Supreme Court, common sense, momentum, the super team of Elon, Tulsi, JD, RFK Jr., all sorts of people. All sorts of people have come together to chart a new path for America. But can you believe we're almost done with 2024? Seems hard for me to believe. It seems very tough to think about that we are now coming up on the end of 2024 as a year. We are ready for Thanksgiving, folks. What are we thankful for? I'm thankful that we have gotten through this election. There was no massive divisive story that set the country on fire like we saw in 2024. I am thankful that there's not another pandemic like we had back in 2020. Did I say 24? I meant 20 if I didn't say 20. No riots like 2020. No pandemic like 2020. We are just living our best lives. And I'm very thankful for that. I'm thankful for you out there watching, each and every one of you. Please leave your comments. As the comments start to come in, we will incorporate them into the show as best we can. We may or may not have a special guest appearance today by TV's Blake Walley. We shall see. He helped put together some of the stories in the stack, the stories of which will be: do Democrats deserve to face a weaponized justice system? Agree or disagree? Agree or disagree that the deep state efforts to kick off World War III will fail? Agree or disagree? Elon Musk should respect Axios CEO and the lying legacy media? Agree or disagree? Speaking of Elon, he's a 3,000-year-old time-traveling vampire alien. Agree or disagree? Also, X, it's more politically balanced than the dusty legacy media. Agree or disagree? Might be just some of the funniest clips are coming from this source. I'm kind of loving it. Agree or disagree that Bluesky, the Bluesky app, will fail? Are you on Bluesky yet? I don't even know what it is. I don't like it. The only reason I'll go over there is to claim my name. Make sure nobody else spoofs. But do you agree or disagree that Bluesky is going to fail over mass censorship demands? Also, should Santuary City Mayors be arrested for defiance? And finally, we should use our taxpayer dollars to fight deportations. All of these topics and more on today's episode of the Agree to Disagree show. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Like I said, TV's Blake Walley may or may not be joining us shortly. He is working on his studio, so we shall see if he can join. Also, we are streaming live on Rumble. So if you found us on YouTube, switch over to Rumble. Rumble's way better. Rumble lets us monetize. Rumble doesn't delete our content. Rumble is better. Rumble is like, remember how YouTube used to be good? In the way that Rumble used to be good, and it looks like I'm still not streaming on the Agree to Disagree show on Facebook for some reason. That's quite frustrating. I just did the RTMP, just got a new link, posted it, and it's not going to work. So here, I'm going to go, once again, hit us on Rumble and on X. On X, we're at American_media_. Today's show live. Join us. Yeah, Facebook is the worst. So we're going to try to stream this way on Facebook. If you're here on Facebook, thanks for joining us on Facebook. But for real, we need you to jump over to Rumble. YouTube if you must. I don't know. I'm not a fan of YouTube at all. I really put way too much energy into growing the Facebook platform and the YouTube platform. The two worst platforms. Why is this not closing? The two worst platforms in all of media, I found them to be the two best sites. I liked them a lot. I liked the functionality. I liked how they both worked. I don't like Google and I don't like Meta. And it's not so much that I don't like them. They don't like me, which means I can't like them because they hate me. How are you going to like somebody that you hate? I think Jesus told us to love your enemies. It's a better man than me. Brian, are you saying that Jesus is better than you? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. But anyway, if you're finding us, why does it say ask me anything about sports? I can't do this anymore. I'm so confused on the technology of this stuff. It's a weird day. We're supposed to be live at 3, and we're here now. So thanks for finding us anyway. All right. Want to talk about the stuff in the news. If you have your comments, please leave them in the chat. First topic. Agree or disagree that Democrats deserve to face a weaponized justice system? Well, let me answer that by sort of not answering that. The charges against Trump have now been dropped. Let's play you this little.
All right, another Fox News alert just an hour after he sought to dismiss the election interference case against Donald Trump. Jack Smith has now filed a motion with the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals to dismiss the classified documents case against the former president.
So let's just break this down.
This is
classified documents case. The actual case of classified documents, that's Joe Biden. What'd they say? $45 million has been verified funneled to his family. What, roughly 20 different people, offshore accounts, grandchildren making payments to the big guy? What are we even talking about here? We're talking about the fact that the Democrats accuse the Republicans of what they're guilty of. They impeached Trump because of a perfect phone call regarding Ukraine. Well, what are they doing in Ukraine? They're rolling the dice, poking the nuclear Russian bear, money laundering. And when Trump tries to figure out what's going on, they impeach Trump for figuring out what's going on with the bribery, the corruption, the money laundering, the graft, the deception, the war, the military-industrial complex, the thousands of unnecessary bodies from both Russia and Ukraine who have suffered, well, bodies who have been removed from the playing field, and those left behind have suffered because of their greed, because of Victoria Nuland, Barack Hussein Obama, Hillary Clinton, John Kerry, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, the entire Democrat Party. This was not happening when there was an adult in the room. This was not happening when Donald Trump was in office. So Trump calls all that stuff out, Burisma, the money laundering, Ukraine, Russia, prior to all this stuff going crazy. They impeached Trump because of it. They impeached Trump because of what they are guilty of doing. Okay? So you want to talk classified documents when, as a senator or a congressman, Joe Biden did not have authorization to have said documents in his place, but he had them. He had them haphazardly strewn about. There were boxes and boxes by the side of his crackhead son's convertible in the Biden family garage in Delaware, right? What was it, the Biden Family Center? Documents, classified. What are the Chinese ties? Was it something like they paid $1 million to Joe Biden's college, and then Joe keeps all of the classified documents there, and then their people get access to it, and so he's selling governmental secrets to the highest bidder? The literal version of a traitor, the literal definition of a traitor, if that can be fully articulated, if the Lego pieces fully connect. That's what you're looking at. So they charge Trump. They raid Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago, going through Melania Trump's underwear. They had authorization in that warrant to use deadly force. They said, oh, well, it's just boilerplate language that we use all the time. No, it's not. And I'm sorry, the what? You're going to bust into Donald Trump's home. Trying to what? Trying to frame him? Classified documents. He was the president. Everything was declassified to him. He has all of those documents. Joe Biden had none of that when he was a senator. He did not have those top-level clearances, but he got the documents when he was sitting there for 8 years behind Barack Hussein Obama. As Obama's been causing chaos around the world, and we've been calling it out for 2 decades now. Roughly 2 decades. God, we've really been taken off course for 2 decades by Barack Obama and the Democrats. That is highly unfortunate. However, on the verge of Thanksgiving here, a day or two away, we must be reminded of the fact that this is a good time. A good time to counterbalance, hit reset, and chart a new path forward. So the question is, do Democrats deserve to face a weaponized justice system? I would disagree, because I wouldn't say distribution of justice is a weaponization. I would say it's using it in the function as it was built, as it was intended. The Democrats have been bastardizing this. The Democrats produce phony FISA warrants. The Democrats go through Fusion GPS. The Democrats use Perkins Coie to try to frame somebody so that they can get surveillance on Donald Trump, President Trump, candidate Trump. Call him a Russian traitor. Calling him a traitor. What happened to all that uranium one? Who's really the traitor? But of course, the Democrats accuse the Republicans and Trump of what it is that they themselves are doing. All right. It says I'm streaming in a private group, but it shouldn't be. I don't know. I got a tagline there that ain't quite it. So Jack Smith is going to drop these charges now. This is both a super important story and it's a non-story. Of course he's going to drop the charges. There's no charges. Oh, he took out a loan with the bank and he paid it back and there was no aggrieved party. Charges, felonies. Oh, okay. Trump appears to be getting framed for an SA case with very, if you want to call what was brought against him as evidence, without a proper chance to rebut and defend himself in that case. These are all kangaroo court weaponizations of the Justice Department, and we've known it this whole time. So Jack Smith is going to drop charges. Wow.
Is an NBC News special report.
Oh, well, if it's coming from NBC News, then it's legitimate.
Here's Lester Holt.
Good day. We're coming on the air with breaking news about President-elect Donald Trump. The Justice Department special counsel Jack Smith just filed a motion to dismiss the federal criminal case against the president-elect over his efforts to overturn the 2020 election results.
That is hilarious. If you believe that Joe Biden got 81 million totally legitimate votes in 2020, and you want to classify what happened as Donald Trump trying to overturn an election, there were not 81 million plus votes in this election. This election that's been ramped up to levels of crazy from the Democrats and the lying legacy media that you've never seen before. You've never seen levels of madness. It's going to end your democracy, says the Democrat Party, who rigged their last 3 primaries. For Kamala Harris, Joe Biden. By the way, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden were the 2 least likable, least voted upon people in the 2020 primary. Kamala was the worst. Joe Biden was the second. So what did they do? Nancy Pelosi et al. They worked behind the scenes to make sure, hey, Pete Buttigieg, hey, come on over here, kid. We like you. You're not going to win this presidency. Well, you know, I'm actually polling pretty well in Iowa and over there, and you know, I'm a South Bend, right? Indiana. All right, Pete, join the team, and we'll make you a secretary or something. Otherwise, we're going to release some damaging information about you. You want to play ball? You want to play nice? You want to? Because that's what we do here at the Democrat Party. Okay, I'll fall in line. Imagine the skeletons in that dude's closet, by the way. But let's look at the party that rigged their primary in 2016 against Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders, love him or hate him, I'm no Bernie Sanders fan on most things. He's occasionally directionally accurate on some stuff, although I don't believe the prognosis and diagnosis that he gives us will get us any closer to an answer than closing your eyes blindly and throwing a dart. But he had the energy of the people. So what did the Democrats do? The Democrats made sure that they were going to silence him, that they were going to defeat him with Hillary Rodham Clinton. Hillary Clinton. Now, you could say that's a more palatable candidate for the general elections. Yeah, maybe. But are the Democrats a party of democracy, or are they cosplaying? They shouldn't be allowed to have the word Democrat in the Democrat Party if their stuff will not be decided by a vote. If it's not decided by a vote, then it didn't happen. Didn't happen legitimately. And so what do? They try, Lester Holt says, okay, they're going to dismiss charges for what they call it, attempts to overthrow
federal criminal case against the president-elect over his efforts to overturn the 2020 election results.
Overturn the 2020 election results. I'm not going to sit here and relitigate all of that case. Read this down here. For countervailing views, please visit cisa.gov/rumor control regarding elections and the WHO website, who.int, and cdc.gov for all medical issues, and cdc.gov/vaccines, specifically regarding any medical claims and political implications. Okay? We have to show you that because we have a device to our temple. We're being forced to say that at censorship point. That's how crazy the leftists have become on social media, silencing us. We have the ability to say whatever we want, even if it's mean, even if it's wrong. We can say whatever we want. You don't have the right to shut us up. Fire in the movie theater, shut up. There are criminal acts, and then there's speech. Speech is allowable. a smaller percentage of the country believes that there was a legitimate thing in 2020 than the people who look at that and go, no freaking way. 4 years later, 4 years of smear campaigns, 4 years of indictments, attacks, character assassination, literal assassination attempts on at least 2 occasions that we know of, probably 6 or 7. He gets more votes. More votes. Gets all of the swing states. All of them. So Lester Holt is saying that they're dropping the charges against trying to overturn the results.
The news comes after NBC News learned the Justice Department had been planning to wind down its federal cases against Mr. Trump. It also comes as NBC News learned that Smith and his team plan to resign before Mr. Trump returns to the White House.
They're going to try to resign and escape the penalties for their actions. Blake Walley.
Hello.
There's Blake Walley. He shoots, he scores. Blake's here. How are you, sir?
Doing well, Ryan. Yeah, sorry I'm late. We pretty
No
much,
worries.
yeah. My internet was out. I'm assuming you made some kind of announcement, but yeah, I was about an hour before the showtime. The internet went out, and I've been idling like Little House on the Prairie again.
So now remind me, you said you had the Starlink. You don't have that with you currently, or you borrowed it, or you do have it. It's just a hassle to set up, and you're not going to pay the monthly fee. But like just logistically, because I'm very curious about Starlink. I thought you had like the briefcase, and you go beep, 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 and you go, you tap it out, and you got the smoke signals, and you're connecting to China or something.
Yeah. It's a cool device. I wouldn't use it if you were in the city. It'd be a waste of time. I mean, you can get way better at fiber optic or other internet. But I mean, if you're remote, yeah, Starlink is a great way to go. If you're, isolated, you're not going to get fiber. You're not going to get high-speed internet anywhere. That is really, it's an exceptional service, but it is $120 a month. So for me to set it up for one show just because I can't get eligible, then I'd have to get the satellite thing outside. I'd have to find the signal. That's assuming I'm even in a location where I can look at the sky. It would be an ordeal. So
okay, but you do still have it in you still have it in a box somewhere. You still have the hardware for it.
I haven't. I might sell it because the company will take it back for like $200 or depending on the condition of it. So I don't anticipate using it again for a while because now I'm back in the cities. So
maybe. Okay, we'll talk later about that. What we're talking about.
What do you want? Why would you want it? I just don't even understand, Brian. It's $120 a month, and it would be a major downgrade from what you have now.
No, it's an insurance policy.
Okay.
Right.
Occasionally. Right. So you're going to set up a service for $120 a month because you might miss one show.
You know what I just heard? I heard that they're going to now have Starlink can go right to your phone and give you cell phone service now. That you can select that you would like to have Starlink as your provider now. I don't know. I just heard it today a couple hours ago. I go, oh, wow.
Yeah, satellite phone would be cool.
Elon, the mastermind. I mean, if he wanted to be a bad guy, it sounds like he's putting the control grid in place. That's for doggone sure. And that's the last thing you would want from a 3,000-year-old vampire alien. But I digress. We'll get into that a little bit later. Blake, we were talking about, of course, the Democrats and their weaponized justice system. I guess maybe I could toss it to you on this, and then I could read a couple comments from Greg Price and others. But, what are your thoughts on Jack Smith dropping these charges now against Trump? So he's dropped, 2 charges now? Election interference, documents. I previously said the Democrats have accused Trump of everything they're legitimately guilty of to try to frame Trump of things he's not guilty of.
Yeah. So I guess I can share this article that I did see if it's working. Jack Smith moving to dismiss both cases against Trump after Trump planned to go scorched earth and fire his entire team of prosecutors. And in response, they just dismissed it. There wasn't much there. And since Trump is now going to be the president, probably wouldn't be a good time to go after him unless you've got something legit, and it never was anything there.
We would have heard about it by now if they had anything. They lied for 4 years in a row. They've been lying for 12 years, for 9 years of Trump.
They've been exaggerating everything about this case. His classified docs, as far as I knew, he was trying to give back or didn't know that they weren't declassified, made the effort, and then were in talks, and all of a sudden they just raided his place and then put all the documents on display, made it look like he was a criminal going through, First Lady Melania's private stuff, digging through everything in the Mar-a-Lago. Looks like and it was like, what? Or is it really something that devastating to our national security that you would do that? And then it turned out later, just a few weeks, if that Joe Biden actually had more shit in his garage, just sitting there in like old cardboard boxes.
I know, man. They project everything they are onto Trump and MAGA and the Republicans. They yell racist because they're the most racist people out there. They yell corruption because they're the most corrupt people out there. Now don't get me wrong. I don't like the Republicans. I don't like the Republican Party. I like the MAGA concept of what we can do to make things better. I don't trust a Mitch McConnell any more than I trust a Pelosi. Don't get it twisted. But, the Democrats are the kings and queens of projection. They always point a finger. And I wrote a song in my band. Maybe I'll play it. Oh, maybe I'll play my song. I own the copyright to it. Maybe I'll play a couple seconds of it. But the song's called 3 Pointing Back. It's about pointing a finger at someone, but there's 3 fingers pointing back at yourself when you try to blame someone. There's 3 pointing back at yourself. I'm going to do that. I'm going to play a couple seconds of that song because why not? But why does Jack Smith look like he's a member of the Galactic Federation? Like, what is that?
He's trying to make himself look more important than he is. He was never appointed. He was just a hatchet man to go after Trump, and it failed. So,
yeah, he looks ridiculous. And these other cases, these other charges, I guess where I'm getting a little confused is some of this saying cases are being dismissed, cases are being what was it, Merchon, or I think it was Merchon. He delayed it indefinitely, but he could reverse that when Trump's out of office to go after him again or something. Like, I'm trying to find all the nuances here. I'm hearing bits and pieces, but I mean, day one on Trump's presidency, he's got to pardon himself of any of that crap day one. Wave the magic wand. And you know what? Maybe Biden will do it. Maybe Biden cut a deal with Trump to, look, I'm going to get Hunter, or I'm going to keep your eyes peeled in the next month. Is Joe Biden, who was smiling ear to ear, who wore a Donald Trump hat and smiled ear to ear, while Jill comes out wearing all red, smiling at like a Cheshire cat right after the election, thrilled. They can't stand Kamala, can't stand her. But I'm curious if maybe Biden is going to pardon Trump for all of these things on the way out, and then Trump in his first day, he's going to pardon Hunter Biden. What do you think the odds are on that? If you were a gambling man, having once lived in Las Vegas, Blake, do you think that's a coin flip chance? No chance in hell? Or, it's actually a decent idea. It could maybe unite the country. You move past some of these things and just start focusing on your path forward instead of looking backward. Do you sense retribution is coming, or is there a possible alliance that's formed?
I don't know about alliance, but it's possible that they've cut a deal somewhere. Yeah, those things do happen. So would it be? No, it wouldn't be that surprising. If I was a betting man, sure, I'd play that. See what kind of odds I get.
All right.
Almost half my life there, Brian.
You spent half your life in Vegas? No.
Well, almost half my life. Yeah, I mean, like 18 years. That's a long time.
Wow, Blake. Wow. I was like 15 years in Los Angeles. It's so weird to think about. It's so weird. I don't know. What would you tell the version of yourself the first week you got to Las Vegas? What would you say to you the first week you got there?
I really don't know what I could have said to make that much of an impact. I don't know.
Because you would have never listened to someone like you.
What am I going to say? Like, hey, maybe ease on the drinking and just be a stay-at-home stoner. But then what would my life be? I'd be like in my 20s. I don't know.
It's weird. I asked the
It's
lead
fun,
singer.
it's pros and cons. I mean, when there's no 24-hour drinking and there's fun, that's what I was there for, man. I was like, oh yeah, I can bet on sports and drink 24 hours a day, party. That's what I wanted to do when I was first there when I was 21. So good luck talking myself out of that. I thought I'd be partying forever, Brian, but then, I got kind of in my late 20s and I was like, oh, okay, this was fun. But, I can't keep this up forever. It's probably consider getting out of Vegas at some point and maybe having a normal life. But then I'm not a normal person. Anyway, it's a long story. Moved back to Vegas. It's good for the money. Good experience. There's a lot of cool things to do in Vegas. It's got its pros and its cons, but I guess I'm glad to not be there anymore.
I had a chance to meet Johnny Stevens, lead singer of Highly Suspect, one of my favorite bands. And I asked him, what would you tell the younger version of yourself? And he was like, I'd say just keep going, man. You got this. Just stay on track. Like, you got this. You're in the right spot, moving in the right direction. You got this. And it's like, all right, that's kind of fair. That makes sense.
All right. What about you, Brian?
See, Blake, I ask the questions. I don't answer the questions.
I know you don't. It's lame.
No.
All right.
Wow. What would I tell the younger, like maybe the week I went out to Los Angeles? Wow. Wow. I know. I ask questions I'm really unprepared to answer myself, but I would probably, similar to Johnny from Highly Suspect, I'd probably just say, buckle up. It's going to be,
enjoy the ride.
Here you go, man. Like you're on a course. And I'm still, Highly Suspect is a highly decorated, super successful rock band. And I moved out there for music. My band did not get famous in that time frame. So I didn't have no, just hang on. You'll soon be a platinum. You'll be a Grammy winner. You'll be a platinum award. You'll have the records hanging on the wall. It's like, well, that wasn't really the path. But anyway, let me talk about this real quick here. I just wanted to quote what Greg Price had to say about this. Never forget the time Jack Smith attempted to bypass lower court rulings on the immunity case and admitted that he was only doing it so that the trial could take place before the 2024 election. The guy tried to completely upend our legal system to jail Trump before the voters could elect him, and he lost. So, I mean, what about this, Blake? Would you pursue justice on these people that have done so many things to try to destroy our country, destroy Trump, destroy our legal system, to destroy our trust in democracy? I mean, is it as bad as Greg Price thinks it is?
I mean, I'd definitely go after like Merchan and probably Fannie Willis and a lot of people in DC for sure. I don't know necessarily Jack Smith, maybe. I mean, if I was going to rank them, I mean, yeah, if you're using lawfare, that was over the top and that was uncalled for. That was crossing a line. So that deserves, if you're going to weaponize the legal system against people, then there has to be some kind of retribution for that.
And I call it justice, not retribution. Seems like eye for an eye, tit for tat.
All right, yeah, fair enough. Okay,
I
fair
like
justice. Like, let's show it how the system is supposed to work. And if you're going to weaponize it, there needs to be a
exactly. Yeah. Now I don't know if Kash Patel has been named the head of the FBI yet. I'm hearing the rumors that he might be. I've been hearing it for a couple of weeks now. I wonder why it's taken so long. But here's Benny Johnson talking with Kash Patel about Jack Smith.
Of doing what? Lying to a federal court. These guys keep doing it. The judge just unsealed documents in the Jack Smith case down in Florida, which says the prosecutors themselves have admitted to tampering with evidence, to moving the very boxes from one location outside of D.C. to South Florida before they ever even charged Donald Trump. How in the world can you not be prosecuting and charging these constitutional gangsters that are at DOJ? And they learn it from the same place, the top down, the same AGs, the same DAGs, the same FBI directors who are cheering them on. I hope Judge Cannon, he's an actual fun legal thing that should actually be occurring. Judge Cannon should be implementing actual contempt proceedings against Jack Smith and the Department of Justice?
Yes.
Lying to a federal judge?
Yes.
And withholding evidence of exclusion and innocence
Yes.
from Donald Trump. Those contempt proceedings would be righteous, and I'd like to see those. Maybe we could put Jack Smith in prison.
Blake,
Okay.
that's the energy I'm looking for.
All right. Well, in light of that, then yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're tampering with evidence and stuff. It can't be. There has to be a punishment for that. And they did it to themselves, so that's just how the justice works.
By the way, here's Matt Gaetz looking like a member of Better Than Ezra somehow, but he has thoughts on that. Are you a Better Than Ezra fan, Blake?
I know a couple of their songs. I don't know what they look like, so I didn't get the reference.
We got to pull up. Jamie, can you pull up a picture of Better Than Ezra singer? All right, we'll do that. Let's hear what Matt Gaetz has to say. Because remember, Blake, if Donald Trump lost this election, he would be kidnapped and lose his entire life in a cage where they could Epstein him. If he would have lost, his life was lost. We can't lose track of that.
100% not guilty, but I want all Americans to remember this. If we had somehow not prevailed in this election, Jack Smith would not be dismissing these charges. He would be proceeding to trial. And though this monumental victory was won for all Americans led by President Trump, we have to remember, just like we came within fractions of fractions from civil war when President Trump survived an assassination attempt, we also were just fractions away from these people trying to throw Donald Trump in prison. So while all of us are grateful for this victory, for Trump, it was victory.
Good. I just think of Better Than Ezra as like
to
a
do
one-hit
all we
wonder or
can
something. I don't
to
even know what the
ensure
song is.
that no one is ever put in this type of a situation again, and we make America great again.
Blake, is that a pretty decent reference there? Did he show some semblances of Better Than Ezra singer?
I didn't get that good of a look at it, but it looks like okay.
Had a little bit of that going on.
Okay.
All right, but yeah, what about what Matt Gaetz was saying there, just about the importance of how off the rails this whole thing went?
That's true. I mean, in an alternate timeline, and I believe that was just mentioned on the Brogan podcast was it Mark Andreessen? They talked about that very thing. Like on an alternate timeline, Trump would have been killed. There could have been a civil war. That's very likely. That would have been a very dark place to be, a dystopian nightmare hellhole where we would be fighting. And yes, if they had won, they would be persecuting Trump until they put him in jail, and then they'd be coming after all of us one by one. This would be the commie takeover of the United States and re-education. And who knows? Yeah, the leftists would be teaming up with cartels or something. I mean, it would be crazy who they'd ally, anybody and everybody against the American patriots. So as they would have been, we would have been, framed as the Nazis, and they would be the good guys. And I couldn't imagine a more horrific scenario.
Agreed. Here's a couple seconds of 3 pointing back. Where's it at? Where's the volume? There we go. Song about trying to blame somebody else, blame probably with yourself. Like, this is the band I moved to Los Angeles with.
Yep.
A little after the Better Than Ezra era. The alternative rock era.
We started with a breakdown, a misconception, simple failures, love perception.
Started with the breakdown of misconception, simple failures of perception. It's just a situation where we can't see past our own goals of where we want to be.
Situation where we can see past our own goals of where we want to be. It's not my fault that I'm not perfect, but it's yours for us and me to be.
It's not my fault that I'm not perfect, but it's yours for asking me to be. But I won't hold that all against you, because I would not want that done to me.
Of where we want wanna be. Well, it's not my fault that I'm not perfect, but it's yours to rest and made to be. I won't hold that I love against you, 'cause I would not want that done to me. Done to me. It started.
And the song continues. Go check it out. Twist of Nothing is the band. Kenneth, what's up, buddy? Late.
So you were the vocalist and drummer, or what?
Yeah. So Twist of Nothing, that was, wow. How do I even describe it quickly? It was, yes. I wrote songs. I was the drummer. I sang songs. I played some guitar. So it was also my brother writing songs, singing a little bit, singing on demos and stuff, and singing back up in live concerts and stuff. But guitar, playing drums. So on that version, I played drums. My brother plays drums on it and guitar. Dave Sampin plays lead guitar. I sing on it. But then we had a different guy, drummer. Like, we were always just rotating instruments. But yeah, that was me singing on that one.
Okay.
The other really good one is called Empty. Probably the two best recorded versions of our songs were Empty and Three Pointing Back. But yeah, man, I love music so much. And I was listening to Better Than Ezra yesterday, and man, Matt Gaetz with his glasses looking really better than Ezra E. Rock on, Garth. Rock
Party on, Garth, but it's all right.
Party on, Wayne. Party on, Garth. Okay, so
What are your influences there? Who were you trying to be, like the next Tool or Deftones, or what was that?
I don't know. What did you hear? What did you hear in the track? What does it sound like to you in this part?
Deftones?
With devastation.
All right.
I love Deftones.
The foundation cracks, then everything falls. Well, it's not my fault that I'm not perfect, but it's yours to ask and made to be. I won't hold that I love against you, 'cause I would not want that done to me. Done to me.
Yeah, the guitar player, he was in a cool cover band. He definitely has some of that anecdote guitar work guitar player. Tell me when it's over. Who remembers who was right? Who was arguing?
Who was right and who was wrong? Just arguing from dusk till dawn. Being deeper, knowing fast. Nothing broken, all in progress. Expectations slowly guide us into fighting hurt and sorrow. But this could start to change tomorrow.
So there's the song. We don't need to play
Okay.
all this stuff. But yeah, I don't know what we were trying to be. We just played music. We liked music. We just found things that we liked, and we played things that, I don't know. We never really said, let's try to be like a band. I mean, like I said, we rotated our instruments. We'd do heavy songs in drop D. We'd have turntables. We'd have djembes and doumbeks and acoustic guitars, reggae. I mean, all over the place. I don't know. Maybe that was our problem. We didn't have one specific sound, but people loved going to our concerts. Like, wait, he's playing guitar now? Wait, he's playing drum? Wait, he's singing it? What are they doing? It's like you don't usually see that happening on stage multiple times doing the shifts. But yeah, just good rock music, I think.
Very cool. All right.
Well, I had no idea Twist of Nothing was going to make an appearance on today's show. Okay, did we have anything else to add on Democrats deserve to face a weaponized justice system, Blake?
I don't
had anything
know
else?
if I had anything else on that particular subject? No, and I think we should probably we can switch topics.
All right, let's switch topics. That was fun. By the way, Blake, fun fact, I've been thinking about doing this. So I want to do, I have another YouTube channel called I Like the Letter U, Tube Just Fine. I like YouTube Just Fine with a U. That's where I have the Twist of Nothing stuff, and I do some music reaction videos. You did one for Harry Mack.
I did.
People are like, Blake, are you getting the genius of this? Good sir. Harry Mack is a genius. And you're like, okay. I'm seeing
I'm a true INTJ, right?
INTJ.
Sitting
You
here
can go-
motionless, right?
what does INTJ mean? Internalized jubilation?
Yeah, it's a personality type. If people are into that and they see YouTube videos with other INTJs, it's the same thing. Just sort of that one look, emotionless stare. So we're terrible for reaction videos.
I am a bit cartoonish and I gesticulate when I talk. And I do get fired up. But what I've been thinking about doing is this. I've been wanting to do more music reaction videos, but I think the way I want to do it is I'm just going to go live. I'm going to stream to that YouTube channel. And then I'm going to hit play on Pandora. And I'm going to let the song, like, I'm going to randomly have whatever comes up that I feel like reacting to. I'm going to do a reaction and like a review on it. And then I think I'm going to karaoke to it. I think I'm going to sing along to it. And then I might play drums to it.
Do they always have the lyrics available? I guess you could look them up on Genius.
Well, I know most lyrics.
So when you hear a song for the first time, can you hear the lyrics? I don't hear the lyrics at all. I mean, I pick up pieces of it, and then I just make up the rest of it in my head. I'm glad. I usually don't like the lyrics. They rarely ever add anything. It's usually like, oh, that's what this song was about. Oh, now I don't like it as much. But I'm different like that.
Well, how about these lyrics from that last part of that song? It started with a breakdown, a misconception. It started with the breakdown in communication, and now we're on a crash course with devastation. Only way out is to tear down these.
You're not trying to do Tool, James Maynard Keynes, or whatever. I know you are, Brian. You're just not saying it.
Okay. I don't try it.
Okay.
Remember, who was right and who was wrong, arguing from dusk till dawn, digging deeper, nowhere fast, stunting growth and halting progress, expectations slowly digress into fighting hurt and sorrow, but this could start to change tomorrow.
Okay, no, that's cool. That's very deep, Brian. But yes, I would never pick that up if I listened to that 100 times. I'd be like, I don't know, music.
Yeah,
cool.
Usually on Pandora, you can click it and it'll have the lyrics, and you can just type in the lyrics, whatever. But
yeah, Spotify does that too.
I love doing karaoke, and I would love to drum to these songs. I would love to just, this one came up. All right, I'm going to sing to it, and then I'm going to play the drums to it, because I have a nice digital kit right now. That's way better. My cats do not like the acoustic drum set. It frightens them. Mr. Ben, he hides underneath the.
Nobody does, Brian. I've lived around drum kits. It's not pleasant. I used to have a roommate that used to drum, and it's like, oh, really? Gonna practice? Oh, great. All right. Well, I'm gonna go somewhere else.
Fair enough.
Drink Heineken and play drums for 2 hours. Great. Let me. Yeah.
Well, I do have the digital kit now, so I could actually just put it all in my earpiece, and I could just, there's some stomping and there's some playing and tack, but it's not explosions of sound like it would be normally. So that's good. Heard of Blank & Jones? What's Blank & Jones?
No. Steely Dan pretty well, but no, that's cool. Cover man.
Yeah, okay.
Blank & Jones. No.
You know what? I did just go to an establishment and I saw a band that was covering a lot of alternative rock, and they covered Tool. I think they played Stinkfist. That's a wild one to play at a bar. Like, what's the last concert you've been to? Thank you. Me too, Kenneth. Cheers to my brother playing the guitar and drums on that song. And I wrote the lyrics to that one.
Was it the Harry Mack concert? I don't remember if I've been to another one since.
That's been like a year and a half ago.
Totally drawing a blank.
Yeah.
Must have been something, but maybe not.
Well, we were in Nashville for the RFK thing, and there was music at that bar, but I couldn't tell you what they were playing or like who they were.
Yeah, but an actual show? No. I remember we were going to go see the Black Keys, but the tickets were so fucking expensive that they ended up canceling their entire tour along with other bands.
Wow.
Oh, you remember that?
Last year?
Yeah. They came out with a new album. They were going to have this huge tour, all these giant arenas. And I got like VIP, I don't want to say VIPX. I got a little advance notice of the shows. But even then I was looking in like Nashville, Louisville, Knoxville. And yeah, there it is. Yeah. but everything was so expensive. It was like, oh my God, it's like $93 to go sit in the fucking nosebleeds. Like, I like them. I have seen them before, but good God. I'd like to see them, but not for $88 plus Ticketmaster fees.
Have you ever seen this? I went to this concert. It was like a country thing. I saw him the day before, but he co-wrote a song called "Must Be the Whiskey" by Cody Jinks. Must be the whiskey. It's an awesome song. Check it out. Yeah, we should. But I do want to do TNAM music. I like we always cover Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. We'll go to like a NAM convention and cover new musical products. But yeah, I do want to start doing more music reaction videos and then either singing along to the tracks or playing drums or both. But that will be coming up later. Okay.
Blank & Jones. All right, I'm gonna write that down, Kenneth.
Blank & Jones. Yes, please do. Blake has found Blank & Jones. Now, let's get to this. Blake, agree or disagree that the deep state efforts to kick off World War III are going to fail? What say you about this one? Agree or disagree?
Well, I'm going to have to agree. Otherwise, our civilization will probably come to an end. And not in a nuclear war, but it will be with ICBMs, but non-nuclear payloads. Apparently, and I don't know if I displayed this or you shared it, but looking at the health ranger, Mike Adams, he's been putting out some alarming posts and just showing.
Terrifying.
Yeah. I mean, as long as Putin is restrained and we don't fuck with him, it should be okay. But I mean, when they launched like missile attacks into Russia, he retaliated with some, ICBMs, non-nuclear ones, but enough where they are at an advanced technology. They move so fast. There's nothing that they can really do to defend against them. So it's kind of like, we've got, I don't know if you're checkmated or what, but you mess with us, like we've got some pretty fancy new weapons that can do some major damage without using nukes. So just stop fucking with the Russian bear and we should be okay.
Yeah, so, here's just one picture of something I found. Let me full screen this. Yeah, that's we'll do it that way. Actually, let me go bigger just for impact.
Yeah, and I've got one too. Oh, okay. I think it's the same video I got.
Oh, is this the same one you had? Okay. But yeah, you want to talk about hell raining down on Earth? I mean, just whomp, whomp, whomp.
Boop. Yeah.
I mean, this is just, on one hand, it's good that it's not so wide ranging like you would have with, look, every war people complain too much collateral damage. There's too much elsewhere. Hiroshima, Nagasaki, or Gaza, anywhere there's a war.
Radiation, right. Dirty bombs.
I guess let's just set nuclear aside for a second because that's a whole other level of hellscape. But even just in conventional warfare, you take down a building and the building goes around, then everybody around gets hurt, people die. It's like you're going after those people in that space. I guess these things are super targeted. They could just erase houses, just done, delete. This was Putin shaking a rattlesnake tail for the world to see, warning them, don't do something stupid. Sadly, though, we've seen that stupid people are pushing these proxy wars, Blake.
Right. But also just compare that video to like the ones we saw where Iran was retaliating and launching missiles at Israel. And they seem to just kind of hang in the sky forever. Like they're just kind of raining. There's a lot of them, but they're raining down like slow. Like this is, old video game Missile Command. But I mean, these, just like the sky opens up and they're using gravity to accelerate I don't know exactly what I'm not scientific enough. This is out of my element, but those things are coming in real fast. And the impact is where where they just do the devastation.
And you said Missile Command from Atari 2600. That's a wild reference, dude.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone would get that. I'm an old boomer now.
Oh, I would get that. I actually just bought a Atari 2600. I've been meaning to plug it in and test it out. got to do that. I'm kind of collecting one of every gaming system, so that as I collect other games, I can test all of them and make sure that they all work, and then sell the excess. But yeah, this new warfare is really brutal stuff. I think here was another. Let me show. No music, thank you. I think this is the one we showed.
You're gonna get sued by Hitchcock.
Look at this is what we showed on Thursday's show, Blake.
Yep.
Look at the brah, 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 brah.
Yeah, good luck intercepting that with your Iron Dome or your Patriot system or what have you.
I mean, that is nutty stuff right there.
Yep, that's like sci-fi. Aliens have attacked with futuristic weaponry.
And
we might have something similar to that. I'm just saying, why would we want to make things any worse?
Release the fart bomb.
There you go.
Some of the comments that I shared about this, I gotta try to locate where that was. Some of the conversations were very interesting. Yeah, here we go. Do you have the one from Mike Adams? Do you want to read the Health Rangers notes, or do you want me to?
He's got several of them. I don't even know where to start, but I do have one. If it's on the screen, let me pop it up. How about?
Well, how about this?
I got it right here. It says, so far, nobody in the West fully comprehends the Oreshnik weapon system just demonstrated by Russia. He's done the math on the kinetic energy of these submunitions, and he's studied up on what's publicly known about the weapons so far. And his conclusion is that NATO is done. The West has no idea what just hit them. The Russians' new system is checkmate for NATO and the USA. All U.S. aircraft carriers can be destroyed in minutes. All military bases, all underground bunkers, ICBM launch sites, naval shipyards, etc., can be destroyed with non-nuclear kinetic energy with this system. There are no active treaties prohibiting this weapon system, so this wouldn't be a violation of the Geneva Convention because it's non-nuclear. So it doesn't destroy surrounding infrastructure or masses of civilians. It is a devastating, unstoppable surgical strike weapon that basically drops metal lightning out of the sky like Thor's hammer or the comets of God. Nobody has defense against it, and the range of these weapons, once mounted on intercontinental boosters, is global. The West must now either back off or go nuclear, and they will probably choose to go nuclear out of desperation. But be warned, Russia has just changed the course of warfare and achieved global dominance. Nobody in the press has a clue. They are too stupid, too woke, or too arrogant to realize what just happened. You're playing chess with Putin and thinking you might compete, and then suddenly Putin unleashes a flamethrower across the chessboard and roasts all your pieces. You thought you were playing chess, but Putin is playing a different game. This is a really big deal.
Yeah.
Summarize.
It really is. And it makes you wonder, how prepared, Blake, do you think our military is with all this 4 years of woke stuff and 8 years of Obama woke stuff? Like, I know Trump did a lot, as much as he could, to revitalize and strengthen our military, but then all of our top-notch gear was left behind in Afghanistan for the bad guys to use against us. So, I mean, what condition do you think our military could possibly be in at this moment? Although, Blake, I'm hearing that our recruitment numbers are way through the roof since they announced Hesketh and since Trump won. It looks like people, real good Americans, want to actually serve in the military again, instead of going there to be berated and told that they're evil and racist and misogynist and this and that, and instead of just going to be ready to defend our country, like should be the only mission from these people. So I guess that's a multi-part question about military readiness and how capable you think we are at this point.
Well, I would say that we're just best just to stay on defense. If the Russians and anybody invaded, we could absolutely go after anybody. I don't think anybody would want to do that. But as far as us running an offensive against Russia, I don't think there's any. I think we're both dug in too much defensively to we just kind of neutralize. I think it would be very, very bad. I think they need to back off, make a peace treaty. I don't see Putin as trying to invade other countries or trying to conquer the world. He just wants to have his country and have his people left alone and be protected. I don't blame him. I get his principles, and I respect that. And that's what they've played militarily. They know that they can't compete with us economically or culturally, and this is how they've, I guess, checkmated us potentially, is what they're saying.
Yeah.
Wow. So let's not escalate things any further. How about that?
Yeah, we shouldn't have gone this far. It shouldn't have gone this far, yet here we are.
Russians are tough, and they are not to be messed with. And they were a very useful ally for us in World War II. If they weren't running that Eastern Front against Germany, I mean, yeah, you just don't mess with the bear, man. Prepare for a big fight, because you're not going to run them over.
Yeah, and it just, once again, it calls to mind my. I did a YouTube short last week, and I just asked, what other job that you're fired from do they let you stick around for a couple months to loot, plunder, steal, degrade company morale, start problems, break things? Like, you're walked out by security. Doesn't matter if it doesn't matter where you're at or who you are. You were escorted out of the building by security. Why do we leave a lame duck president for another opportunity to money launder and to start a war that the next guy is going to have to clean up? I would love to see legislation that we make an amendment to our Constitution that sorts out this lame duck period. If you're fired, you're fired. I really don't think this should go on and on. Like,
yeah, but we're supposed to be on the same team. This is
we're not.
Well, I understand that, Brian, but I mean, this is like something totally different. We're not supposed to be partisan in these events. They're supposed to be, we're working together. We have different ideas about things, but yeah, you do have like a commie infiltration. We are being, we have been infiltrated from within. I get what you're saying, but normally this is not supposed to go like this. We're all supposed to be Americans. We're not supposed to be, trying to sabotage the other side just because they won. But things have changed.
I think things have changed. Back from the horse and buggy days of trying to get people from Philadelphia to ride over to up from North Carolina through the mountains, get over to like it's a very different time, and it's obvious that foreign interests, non-American interests, have flooded this country with potential sleeper cells for God knows what reason, either for the votes or for otherwise. It really is not America versus America. It's foreign interests trying to get inside and manipulate Manchurian candidate America. So I think we might really want to talk about a constitutional amendment. And look, what is it? What is it? 2/3 and 3/4 the House and Senate. I forget exactly. It's not easy to get a constitutional amendment passed. Although I have heard that maybe we should have a constitution of the what is it called? The states have what is it called? The
Constitutional Convention?
Thank you. The Constitutional Convention. But dangerously, if you open up that Pandora's box, it can end up with a worse government. But you know what? You got to open up the control panel and deal with your fuse box when you're having problems. Shut the main breaker off. And it's like, you're going to have to unplug some things. You're going to have to disconnect, maybe start from scratch and rebuild it a way that makes sense. And I don't think leaving a lame duck president that could be an enemy to the American people. And I think we've seen treasonous actions from the past couple administrations, Biden, Obama. Anyway, just a sidebar, but I think we should be paying attention.
I don't know who's running it. I mean, I'm not like, what happens if we took Biden out of there tomorrow?
Sure.
But would anything change? No. We took Kamala out, took Biden and Kamala both out, kicking and screaming. And let's say people didn't even know about it. Would anything change?
It's a great question. But they seem hell-bent on this World War III.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, to stay in power. That's probably their one card, except they're underestimating the power of Putin and his weapon arsenal. And he's warned us specifically, do not attack us. Like, this is ours. This is between us and Ukraine. Stay out of it. And then once let's give Ukraine some long range missiles and have them fire them into Russia. Oh yeah, that's a great idea. At
By
least
the
he
way,
was head restraint, right?
By the way, for people not paying close attention, number one, this is Kenneth saying I do my daily Constitution in the morning. Of course you do.
That's nice.
But let's not forget, number one, this isn't really between Russia and Ukraine. This is between the United States using a comic who got installed after they overthrew the government in, was it 14, 15, 16? Victoria
14,
Nuland,
yeah.
Obama, Biden. They overthrew Ukraine to turn it into our 52nd state to start a proxy war with Russia, since the Syrian one went off the rails when Trump came into office and obliterated Obama's ISIS, John McCain's ISIS, destroyed them super quick. It's amazing what you can do when you're not on the side of the enemy. It's amazing what can be accomplished. But yeah, number one, this is a U.S. war, so it's not really Ukraine versus Russia. It's the U.S. through Ukraine as a sock puppet in Russia. But here's another interesting point we don't think about enough. Russia is our territorial neighbor. We border Russia. We share a border with Russia, Blake. I can see Russia from my house.
From Alaska?
Yes. This isn't off in some parts unknown. Oh, they're doing something over on Venus up there. I don't know what's going on. It's all the way on Mars. What do I care? Alaska, Russia, right there. This is beyond stupid. But this post here from David Hockley is saying just how stupid this could be in response to Health Ranger talking about this Oreshnik weapon system. David says, you think that's impressive? The West's military-industrial complex has magic weapons that turn black hole defense budget into private wealth for politicians. Our military hardware is so explosive that politicians on $100,000 to $200,000 a year have a net worth of tens of millions, some in the hundreds of millions. Boom. Simon says, on the one hand, that's funny. On the other hand, it's super scary. It seems that whilst the West has, in all parts at least, been using the weapons industry to enrich a few politicians and manufacturers, the Ruskies have been taking the whole weapons thing very seriously. And so once again, this just kind of brings me back to how prepared would we possibly even be if something like this were to happen? And I don't know that we have a real answer in a way that would make me sleep well at night. So fingers crossed we can just get to this finish line January 20th, right? Or what is it, January 6th? They do the certification, and then it's another 2 weeks to get in on the 20th.
Something like that. Yeah. I don't know the exact timeline, but it seems to be pretty much parallel with last time. I don't know if that's always or it's just coincidence, but here we are.
Kenneth saying, I can see Russians dressing from my window. There was a movie kind of like Airplane or Hot Shots, and it was called Kentucky Fried Movie. And they were, you've seen Kentucky Fried Movie? I didn't know how cool.
An old movie. It's like 70s, I think, right?
Yeah. Yeah. 70s or 80s. And it was, I believe they're having dinner or something. And he goes, what kind of salad dressing would you like? Oh, I'll take French. I'll have a little Russian dressing on the side. And so they come out, and then there's a little Russian guy, and he's putting on a suit. He's buttoning up his little Russian guy, little short man.
It's been about 20 years, right? I don't remember that, but I remember it had some funny. But it was like a lot of like skits. It was like a lot of little mini things. It wasn't like one movie linear from beginning to end, right? It was like a bunch of sketches.
I remember it being very slapsticky, like Airplane. I don't know if it
was good. It's like a cult classic, but I don't remember the specifics.
I got to go back and watch that. I need to watch Cannibal the musical from Trey Parker, Matt Stone, the South Park guys.
Hannibal
the musical.
Oh,
I think it was like the Donner Pass people that like got stuck and they had to eat their family.
Right.
Yeah, that one, and then of course Orgasmo, some of these old cult classics. Okay, anything else on this topic, Blake?
I think I had that movie. No, I think I'm good. I've seen Basketball like 50 times too. Yeah, that's good.
No, it's not like Horse. All right, so we got a triple play from Elon, who is just driving the news everywhere you look. What say you? Agree or disagree that Elon Musk should respect Axios CEO and the lying legacy media? What say you, Blake? Agree or disagree?
I am going to disagree. No, he should not respect those clowns. They're the past now. It's a new era. So I don't know if you shared this or if I had it. Both of us. I'm sure it's been making its rounds. So let's take a look. Right here, Elon Musk saying, here's Western Lensman saying the new Axios CEO melting down over Elon Musk telling X users that you are the media now, mounts his passionate defense of the dying legacy media. And I think I had, I did. It was on Resist the Media. Yeah, here we go. Axios boss loses his cool over the declaration that X has better reporting than mainstream media. So let's take a look at this clip.
Everything we do is under fire.
What's that?
Before you press play on that, I was going to ask if having better media, is that, Blake, would you say that's like horse? Let me, is that like horse?
Uh-oh, we're going to get copyright.
Better media.
You mean like horse? No, it's not like horse. Duh.
No, it's not like horse. God, I gotta watch that again. Basketball cult classic.
I thought it was stupid the first time I watched it, but God, it got better and better and better, and I probably watched it like 50 times.
It's like a live motion South Park. Like it's so like these two are the ones that drive South Park. Like they did such a good job. Like Jenny McCarthy and the sports references, like the announcers.
No, genius. I mean, there's some stupid stuff, but I mean, for the most part, it's high level stuff. They've been putting out tons of awesome work over the years. So
absolutely
pretty amazing. Yeah.
All right, back to your clip here.
Okay, going back to the CEO of Axios, and they've been hemorrhaging their viewers, readers, or whatever.
They all are. All these lying hacks. They are just
MSNBC down to like 50,000 or something in their key demographics. I mean, it's so bad.
But have they always been this bad?
Well, they've been bad, but now they're exposed. Now like people aren't believing them. So it was bad. Like, how the fuck are millions of people watching these shit shows? And then now it's like, now you see them. It's the emperor's got no clothes. Now they're just, the naked propaganda spewing BS. And now we see through it. And we're tuning out of it.
Everything we do is under fire. Elon Musk sits on Twitter every day or X today saying we are the media. You are the media. My message to Elon Musk is bullshit. You're not the media. You having...
These fucking National Press Club.
What a lukewarm, tepid pseudo clap. Although that is a better response to when Elon said, fuck off.
Right. Well, they were in shock there, but that was awesome because that was kind of behind enemy lines. But yeah, this is the.
Did I quote him right? Is that exactly what Elon said in that moment?
Yeah, he said, "Go fuck yourself."
That's what it was.
He was like sitting there, like, and he said, "Yeah, go fuck yourself."
They
like,
literally
wow.
all the pearls clenching. Oh, why I never Evans to Murgatroyd. Oh.
Yeah, and that was on cable news. That came on like MSNBC or CNBC, like financial news. Like that was like, oh wow, just swore they weren't prepared for that. But that was great. That was a pivotal moment.
This guy saying that X is not the media. Oh yeah, we're doing the job that American media doesn't want to do. That's why we're called the new American media. That's why we did this 11 fucking years ago, because we knew what was happening and we sensed the shift. And if you've been following us, like, how many major stories did we get wrong and then stick to once we figured out they were wrong on the new American media? You've been here for almost a decade and a half, teaming up, working on projects, going places, interviewing people, this, that, the other. Has there been anything we've intentionally deceived people with? And if we got a story wrong that we didn't correct it?
No, not at all. I don't think there's. I would love to see if somebody could point that out. Certainly, I've been wrong on certain things, and I do my best to get things right and correct the record. I don't think we have ever like gotten anything wrong, and we don't have to get paid by anybody to like have an opinion on certain things. Like it's not like, hey, you guys want to keep getting your checks, maybe shut the fuck up about our sponsors. No, that's never happened because we don't have anybody to hold, it's just me and you. So yeah, I mean, occasionally wrong about some smaller issues. I think I didn't think at first that Russia was going to invade Ukraine. Okay, oopsie, I got that one wrong.
But that's not factually incorrect. That was an opinion. Like, we're allowed to report on what we know and then also give our opinion. Well, news should not offer opinions. That's all these lying hacks have done, was offer wrong opinions, intentionally deceptive opinions, nonstop. So we do take the news. We'll tell you the who, what, where, when, why, how. But then we're also going to say, well, I think this. I would love to see that. I think this connects to that. We can blend those things together. Real journalism is just the facts, Jack. Just the facts, Jack. What movie is that from?
Stripes.
There you go. Good reference. But yeah, I think we're allowed to have a mixture of both news and opinion together. We're never going to pretend to be strict reporters. We're too opinionated, and you can't. I've said LeBron James is the greatest basketball player of all time. I don't like him personally. I got a million reasons why he's annoyed me as a human, politically, his breaking up with Cleveland on national TV to go, I'm taking my talents to South Beach. Bro, come on. Like, I got problems with him personally, and he's a lousy tipper. Like, I got 100 stories about him, not involving Diddy parties.
I almost wrecked his birthday party. I'm glad I didn't.
Oh, you should have done. You wouldn't have been tipped. But
I had a concert. I had a conflict. Like, it was like, either I go to this concert on my own or I work the LeBron's birthday party.
Mary Poppin' Daddies? Who was it? Dropkick Murphys?
No, wasn't anything. I don't remember who it was. I'd have to look up the date.
Was it that band in Vegas you went to go see and you met him?
Oh, that was the Dandy Warhols. That was several months before that. I think LeBron's birthday was in like November. It was later in the year, but I saw like 13 concerts in the year that I was in Vegas, or in 2019 when I was in LA, because they were just all the time. Just
December 30th, 2004. I'm sorry, December 30th, 1984. December 30th.
2019. Oh, 1984. Okay, so it's just December 30th. That would have been the Cracker concert. That was my 13th and final concert. So I love Cracker. It was Cracker with Camper Van Beethoven.
I don't know them, but Cracker's a cool band. But look,
a lot of hits on.
Bringing up LeBron,
Eurotrash Girl. There's a few that they didn't play. Some of my favorite ones they didn't play.
You gotta play the hits, man. That's. But isn't it so weird that in music you can write one song and play it for 40 years, but if you're a comic, you're not allowed to do your old bits? Who said that? Like, if you have it on a record or a CD, or you have it downloaded, or you watch the Netflix special, if you're laughing your ass off about some of these bits, why not do some of those bits? Comedians are not allowed to play their greatest hits. Musicians are expected to play their greatest hits. It's such a weird, I don't like that. If I go see a comic and I know some of his, break your hour-long set. Give me a couple jokes from there. Just remind me, refresh me, do a little bit. Condense it.
It doesn't work like that. I've heard like Doug Stanhope talk about that. Like, he gets on stage and then people want to hear some of his old material, but he's like, his headspace is in the new material. Unless you're like constantly rehearsing that stuff and you're ready to tell those stories, I mean, you just forget it. It's not that easy. That's why a lot of those comics don't want people recording shows, because then people have already seen the material and then they get there and they're, but I've also heard, I think it was Rogan, somebody, saying that a lot of those comics back in the day, before people were recording that shit, they could play the same material for years and years. Just go around the country to the same, and people wanted to hear it. And, I bought CDs in the past. Like, you want to listen to Bill Hicks or Dennis Leary or, without going into that controversy. But I remember we used to listen to those CDs over and over. People used to listen to, like, Eddie Murphy, Raw, or whatever.
Hedberg. How about the Adam Sandler CD?
Yeah, we listened to a bunch of those.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
Yeah, but that was a different era. We'd listen to the same things over and over. But now it's much changed. So,
But my point about LeBron James, Blake, was just to say that LeBron James being the greatest basketball player of all time, that's an opinion. It's the correct opinion.
Okay.
Blake's wrong. That guy's wrong.
Statistically, maybe, yeah, he's been very healthy. He's been an outstanding player. I don't know if you would call him. You think he's better than Jordan or Larry Bird?
All-around basketball player of all time. But that's my well, that's like your opinion, man.
It's just like your opinion, man, Lebowski.
Big Lebowski. We're doing references today. All of today is off the rails, and I'm here for it. I'm having a good time with all the movie references. But
Thanksgiving week, all right.
Yes, it is. Maybe a special episode of Strictly Football tomorrow. Maybe regular time, maybe 5 o'clock. I don't know if Blake's bored, wants to jump in and just talk some turkey football.
Oh.
If Blake's around, maybe
I finally got a Vikings shirt so I could show up right with proper apparel.
Yeah, I don't have a hat or anything. I got a Cleveland Browns koozie cooler there. Hey, Jane Meyer, thank you for joining us. Hey, everybody who's watching us on two places. Blake, do you have a Rumble channel?
Yeah, I've got two. It is Blake Walley. I think it's got underscores because you can't do spaces. And then I've got the Next Level News.
Okay, so you got both of those there. Yeah, I've started using the RTMP code and streaming live.
Oh, is it streaming to Rumble right now?
Streaming through Rumble right now.
Very
also
nice.
Streaming through Facebook because I have to start a new RTMP every time I try to connect to Facebook instead of just clicking connect. I don't understand it, but I think if you undo it and redo it and start from scratch, it should be going. But yeah, I mean, the past couple live stream shows that we've done,
Oh yeah, you're on. I got there's some people watching.
What number is it showing over there? You got a few cats?
Yeah, there's a few.
Yeah, because we can see that we got 30 some in X. We got them coming in on YouTube, and you can just see how suppressed the views are on YouTube. It's insane, really. But yeah, I've done some live shows streaming on Rumble, and they do well. They do well. Maybe they do the best. Whoa, look at that. Is that what I look like? That's it. I'm done. Yeah. I'm never doing a show again. They're all gonna laugh at me.
There you go.
What I look like? Jeez. That's it. I'm done. They're all gonna laugh at me. I loved those Adam Sandler skits. Those were fan-freaking-tastic.
Those were great CDs. Yes, that was very different. That was like when I was in college, and we listened to those all the time. It was very different era. And VCR, and we'd watch Pulp Fiction 100 times, or basketball, or Spies Like Us, stupid shit. But anyway, good times.
I sent this to my buddies. Let's see if I can show you. Whoop. See if I can show you here. Okay. Before memes,
backwards, yeah.
Okay, before memes, guys used to sit around in a circle. God, it's so hard to read. Okay, how do I do this? This is the worst ever. Oh, there we go. If I do it that way, it says, before memes, guys used to sit around in a circle and loudly quote Anchorman at each other for literal years.
Yeah, there you go.
Before memes, we'd sit around in a circle just quoting Anchorman nonstop for years, literal years. You're my boy, Blue.
Yeah.
I
know it's weird thinking about those times again. Yeah.
90% of the time, it works half the time or something like that.
No phones.
Just
no
living
memes,
in the moment.
No social media.
Just living in the moment. Okay, back to the show. Let's kind of speed walk through some of these here. Anything else on the Axios CEO? Axios. Yeah, I'm going to go there instead of X. No, thanks.
Because sitting in is it the press corps or whatever? I forget what the function is. I don't even know what I did with it. Okay, yeah, it was the 2024 award gala at the National Press Club. So of course they're going to cheer, but yeah, they're a bunch of corporate propagandists. They're sellouts. They know they're not real journalists. They're not curating their own news. Their bosses aren't scared of them going on air off script, like reporting something they shouldn't. No. That era of the media has been long dead. You got 5 major corporations. So they're just reading each other's scripts. It's BS. And yeah, they got to appease their sponsors, and they don't want to make waves. They don't want to break those kind of stories that are going to go after somebody powerful, and then they're going to get sued or what have you. So much different era. So yes, Elon Musk is absolutely right. We are the news now, and they have to compete with us, and they don't like it.
No, they can go to hell. I went to go see the movie Wicked, of all things.
Really?
Ariana Grande.
Would you go by yourself? Do you have a hot date? What are we doing? Oh, he doesn't want to say. Oh, I just caught Brian off guard. You don't have to say, Brian. No pressure.
So I went to go see the movie, and it has Ariana Grande in it. she's pretty good in it as Galinda, not Glinda, Galinda. It's a G. But I remember reporting on an Ariana Grande concert over in the UK, somewhere in Europe, might have been Britain, and there was a mass shooting, and I was like, "Oh, this is not good." This is on the heels of like Eagles of Death Metal and all those Obama ISIS attacks during his whole reign of terror. But I went live on YouTube, like, "Hey, here's what's going on. The reports are coming in." And I'm like, "Look, guys, if you ever go to concerts, you need to set up multiple reconnection points. If you get separated, you meet here. If you can't meet here, here's your backup point. You need to be aware of your exits at all doors in case something unexpected happens." And I just did a report. Nothing out of line. She's a Taco Grande. Fun fact: I went to Taco Bell and snuck some tacos in because I was hungry and I didn't want what.
Oh my God, you're the guy that sneaks food into the movie theater.
But I also bought popcorn. I also bought beer and a popcorn.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
But I also snuck in a taco, two tacos. But I digress. I was hungry, and I didn't really have dinner, and I wanted to get something extra. But anyway, the point is, I go live for the Ariana Grande shooting show. They took it off of social media on YouTube. They flagged it. They censored it. They demonetized it. And they said it's I don't even remember what bullshit reason they said I'm not allowed to cover it. Meanwhile, all the recommended videos on that page, it was NBC, CBS, CNN, MSNBC covering the Ariana Grande shooting. They wanted to silence me to go to air quote authoritative news sources so that they can get advertising dollars and people like me can fuck off. That's how I've been treated by YouTube. I am waiting for my reparations check. We should have been 1,000,000 times bigger than we are right now, but every time we do stuff, they rig it so that their bullshit lying legacy media, dusty, crusty, garbage companies are the only ones that you can advertise a Ford truck or a can of Pepsi Cola to. For some unknown reason, I can't have a Wayfair commercial before my video about the same fucking topic, the same content, delivering more up-to-date information, more honestly than they are, giving you practical tools, tips, and information on how to survive a situation before it starts, if it starts, and when it's in the middle of. I gave an awesome video. I'm not allowed to talk. I hate these censors so much, Blake.
So it's not YouTube. They should change the name of it. Because YouTube was supposed to be about us, right? Just the little guy.
But that's
we get our own
Rumble
shit
now. Rumble is like how YouTube used to be.
Yeah.
And that's why I like Rumble. But YouTube really is the Library of Alexandria. If I want to play Desperately Wanting by Better Than Ezra that I did yesterday, Desperately Wanting's maybe their best song, even though Good is probably the most popular. And that includes a clip of Adam Sandler at the very end of it, by the way. We're weaving. I call that a weave. They said, "Sir, you're rambling." I said, "No, it's kind of genius. I'm talking about this. I'm talking about that." They call it a weave. They said, "Sir, you're weaving." I said, "No, I'm a stable genius talking about lots of things at once." Call it the weave.
Do this. Yeah.
The Overton went.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this too. I'm going to do the chump dance. Anyway, okay. We're all over the place, but I'm here for it. I'm having a great day. It's Thanksgiving week. Okay, Blake, anything else about the Axios guy? Did we cut him off? Did he get to finish his rant? I think we cut him off.
We did cut him off.
His mouth's open. His mouth is agape, as they call it.
All right, well, let's skip ahead. All right, oh, there we go.
Bullshit. You're not the media. You having You having a blue check mark, a Twitter handle, and 300 words of cleverness doesn't make you a reporter. You don't do that by popping off on Twitter.
Yes, it fucking does. Historically, yes, it fucking does.
You don't do that by having an opinion. You do it by doing the hard work.
The hard work of what? What we do is fucking hard work. Curating our own news, having to go out on an island and do this all by. They have everything handed to them. They get fucking interns and they get a makeup and they get to go through their script. They got a big studio. They get their big corporate paycheck. Fuck that.
And all their propaganda is prioritized in the feed. All of our stuff is deranked, deboosted, demonetized, and shuffled down the memory hole. This guy, the balls on this guy, the gall of this guy.
Yeah, if they did their job, we wouldn't have to do this, Brian. Maybe we would just be doing reaction videos or talking about movies and music. That'd be awesome. I didn't want to get into fucking journalism. Fuck no.
Blake,
I wanted to be like a writer and write
music
like
and entertainment show,
or screenplays or fiction or some shit, but I didn't want to fucking do anything to do with journalism. Very
Blake,
different.
We should do an entertainment show or a music show or something.
Perhaps.
Because now we're out of the election craziness. We can kind of catch our breath. I mean, don't you wake up differently now? Don't you wake up just a little more, some sanities around us? It's been like such a nightmare. 12 of the last 16 years have been like, I'm pulling out my hair, man. Like, what is happening? Who are these infiltrators? Why the treason? What the fuck is happening? Am I the only one that sees all of this as a problem? I can't be the only one that sees Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and all of their puppet masters as a problem, driving us like Thelma and Louise off the cliff.
Yeah, pretty much. So yes, it's very different. It's actually when I'm not in that, oh my God, yeah, you're constantly like on edge, like what's gonna happen next? What are these fucking crazy motherfuckers gonna come up with? And this is like insane. Like, especially like with the border stuff the last 4 years, just like what in the fuck? And then is anybody else seeing this shit? Like what? But then people are like celebrating this, like this new shitty era of, this new American era where we're infiltrated by these fucking just deep state ghouls. And they're trying to normalize it. It's like, dude, we're watching like, Hunter Biden and his laptop, and now we don't get to see what's in it. No, they're just going to go hide it in the FBI headquarters, and we just have to live with it. Yeah, they're just going to go after Trump and throw him and his family in jail and then start coming after all of us. Yeah, then they're going to force us all to take experimental jabs and comply and wear masks and get a passport so we can go anywhere. I mean, it's just fucking insanity that we dealt with for years.
And Blake, that's not the least of it.
Yeah.
Then when that clearly didn't work, they shot him in the fucking head.
Yeah.
He was that close. They said, look at that chart. Yeah. Shane Gillis has that joke. Dave Chappelle thought it was hilarious that Trump getting shot would sound funny. Did you ever hear that one?
No.
Okay, well, I'll play in a second, but let's finish this guy's clip up here, shall we?
Okay.
Yeah, come on, slow clap, everybody.
Oh, what the fuck? I didn't even see this part yet. But I mean, the fact that any of these fucking clowns here are clapping, like they need him to justify their existence because they are a fucking laughing stock. And since I'm stopping that clip, I'm actually going to cut that off and pull up another clip from Western Lensman just showing what a fucking scumbag Joe Scarborough is. These fucking flaming liars.
Okay, let's pause on Scarborough. Let me just play this since we just referenced it.
All right.
But it's a reminder. If Trump didn't win this election, he was going to get kidnapped, thrown in jail, and Epstein. He would have spent the rest of his life in jail until they killed him.
But back to what I was saying about if you had, what I said was true. If you had to rank them from least funny to funniest assassination, easy number one. For real, he'd be talking shit like when it happened. He'd be doing like a rally. He'd be like, my opponent's gay. I walked in, I saw him, I said, wow, this guy's gay. The shooter would be coming out and be like, sit down. You're gay. You're gay. Get hit, he'd definitely make a funny noise into the, like he'd get hit, be like, and fall. He'd fall funny.
Dude. Fall funny. That's like a Jack Nicholson reference from The Departed. She felt funny. She felt funny. And so that was obviously before it happened, Blake. But yeah, I remember Chappelle introduced him and referenced that joke in particular. But that's how serious they were about all their lies and propaganda. They deleted him, threw him entirely down the memory hole on X, on Facebook, on Instagram. They gave him the Alex Jones treatment. Alex was the canary in the coal mine, and not enough people stood up and said anything. They're like, I don't know, Alex is kind of out there. I guess just let him censor him. Press the button, and he's deleted off everything. Gave him the Milo Yiannopoulos treatment. First, they came for Milo, but I said nothing because he's got some out there opinions. Then they came for Alex, and, well, Alex kind of had it coming. Then, boom, President of the United States is not allowed to talk. Then, boom, we can't talk about the President of the United States. Then, boom, there's no country. Then, boom, they shot him. And luckily, he missed. My God, luckily he missed. I prefer this timeline with the mandate from the American people. Jane Meyer saying exactly, they are script readers. They are script readers. And Kenneth saying, yeah, that was a bullet ear piercing. He got his ear pierced. That's for sure. Unlike the story we saw with Jay Leno last week, where he was all like a pirate and his whole face was bruised. But he was in another interview talking about the chemical burns when his engine lit on fire and it burned his face. He's like, man, I went to the medical center and they give me, it's a new ear. It's a new ear. It's a new ear. Yeah, they said, we can't say the old one, but here's a new ear. Here's a new ear.
All right. Well,
all right. So, yes, a bullet ear piercing. All right. What about Joe Scarborough, sir?
This is a quick clip, just a recap, just a replay. We've seen before, but just shows you why these people aren't serious journalists. They should just be laughed out. They should just be escorting him out of the building right now. Be like, dude, your career is over. Like, and here's Exhibit A. And there's going to be a lot of them, but
couldn't he be fired and then left on the air for 2 more months to cause as much damage as possible, like Joe Biden?
I'd be curious. Probably not.
No, you fire him and you take him out. We got to amend our Constitution on that. Just that one topic. I'm firm on this. Term limits, and when you're fired, you got to go. You got to go.
Yeah, you got to give him the Olbermann treatment, and you got to be like, sorry, dude, you are not going to fucking stay here and work the next 2 weeks. No, you're out. You're fucking crazy, bro. All right.
Oh, anyway. What song lyric is that? You're fucking crazy. Hey, hey. You know you're crazy. Hey, hey, hey. You know you wanna bring it down. You're fucking crazy.
I don't know.
Jane, do you know that song? Anybody in the chat room, type it in. Blake is stumped. He doesn't know this one. This is a classic.
I probably do. Is it like a Lana Morissette or something like that?
No, it's not. It is rock and roll. Go ahead, play Joe Scarborough. We'll give people a chance to guess.
I don't know. All righty, let's take a
rock,
look at
hair band rock.
Yeah.
Late 80s, early 90s rock.
Poison, Bon Jovi.
You're getting close. Paradise City rock.
Oh, Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're crazy. You're fucking crazy. Oh, child. You know you're crazy.
What album was that?
That was on the big one with all the stuff.
Use Your Illusion, the double one?
No, before that.
Oh.
With Paradise City on it.
Okay, that's one of those first ones. I don't remember. Okay.
Not GNR Lies.
Right.
But now I can't think of the name of
no, It's So Easy. No, but that's a different one.
Appetite for Destruction. There we go.
Okay.
All I had in my head was Lies. GNR Lies. Patience is off of GNR Lies. We should do a music show.
I hate that fucking song. That was the worst. I hated that one with passion. Oh, it was awful. Awful. Horrible song. No. God. It took me a while to warm up to GNR. I didn't like them at first. And anyway, I like some of their shit. Anyway, without getting into the sidetrack, they've got a lot of great music. but some of their early stuff wasn't great with me. But anyway, let's move on. Who cares what I think? Let's listen to Scarborough.
Yeah, we care what he thinks.
Right. No, we shouldn't care after we hear him what he's about to say. But we do. We called this out right when he said it.
Wait, I called it out, or you did, or what? We did.
Both of us, I'm sure.
When was this? Haley to drop out of the race?
This was right before the debate.
Oh, okay, I'm trying to remember the timeline. Okay, good.
This is right before Joe Biden was, as the end of Joe Biden, where we went, holy shit, this guy is not there anymore.
Oh, okay. Now I remember this clip. Okay.
All right, here we go.
Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth.
Here we go. Joe Scarborough is about to tell us the truth.
When somebody says, I'm not lying. Well, why would you say I'm not lying? Well, do you lie about the other stuff? So, like, I've had somebody semantically bust me on that. I'm telling you the truth. What do you mean you're telling me the truth? You don't tell me the truth the other times? It's like when you say that, you're trying to sell the fact that you're peddling a lie. Whatever's about to come out of my mouth next is going to be verbal diarrhea. Blah.
Yeah.
From Scarborough, like a Pez dispenser. Blah.
Pretty much. All right, here we go.
Rewind it again to let's hear him with that little verbal cue to let us know, ding, ding, ding. The next thing out of my mouth is going to be a big fucking whopper of a lie. And my God, we're cussing like sailors today. I usually try to not do that, but I don't care. We set the rules.
I'm a bad influence. Here we go.
Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth.
F you if you can't handle the truth, Brian.
This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever. Not a close second. And
Not a close second. Best he's ever seen.
Known him for years. The Brzezinskis have known him.
He's known him for years. The Brzezinskis, his
the Brzezinskis are big new.
Yep. They've known Biden for decades. And this is the best Joe Biden that Scarborough has ever said. And he just said, yes.
For 50 years. If it weren't the truth, I wouldn't say it.
If it weren't the truth, he wouldn't say it. Right?
He's doubled down on
calling him a liar
twice now. It is such a giveaway when you know what to look for semantically when people are giving you the tail, giving you the tall tale, Blake.
Right. Yeah. And after this, I'm not saying at the time, but for now, like this should be simply like, this is your career is over. You should leave the building. You're not allowed to ever be a broadcast journalist again. And if he ever wants to interview and go, well, maybe I'll go to CNN or maybe I'll go to some other shitty company. They're gonna have to point this out at the interview and say, why the fuck would we ever hire you? I mean, his career should be over. And then I get to watch him on the other clip from the Axios, and they're all like clapping, like, no, this is exactly why you should not be in the media. And me, I'm just, a bartender, college dropout turned bartender. And I was right. I called it out. I've been calling it out for fucking years. How Biden was cognitively declined. Over and over. I got old titles, old shows. I got old material. It was fucking obvious. So how did I get it right? And this fucking piece of shit's getting millions of dollars to sit there and fucking lie to people. That really aggravates me. So as far as I'm concerned, these people should be sued and their ill-gotten gain money should be distributed to people that got shit right.
People like us.
People
like us that have been on the cutting edge of this stuff from the beginning, driving the new American media. Exactly.
Yeah. Sounds fair to me.
All right. So that's what we have to say about that topic. Anything else on that one, sir?
That was it. It was short and sweet.
All right. So that's the politically the balance. This is a great clip. Scott Jennings. We need to book him. Let's book Scott Jennings. That guy's great on CNN. Let's do a little one of these. We're going to get to this question in just a second, but real quick, Blake, question of the day. Should Kamala Harris run again in 2028?
No. I think they've come out with a new poll, like an early one, just to kind of get an idea of what people want. But People they don't have that big of a memory. People aren't that sophisticated where they're like, oh yeah, we should, have some of these other people. Like they just don't even know. They just see a list and they go, I don't know. They've heard 4 people on the list and they're just going to go, I don't know, maybe Kamala should go again. So I don't know who's getting pulled on these things. So I don't really take much stock in it. No, I'm sure. I'm hoping the Democratic Party will absolutely implode and then maybe they'll rebuild it into something a lot
shattered into 1,000 pieces and scattered to the corners of the earth, like Kennedy said about the deep state back in the day. Jane Meyer talking about Joe Scarborough. He looks like he's shitting his pants scared. Speaking of Shane Gillis, remember when he did that thing on Kill Tony with Adam Ray as Trump coming out? Did you watch that eventually? The whole thing?
Parts of it. No, I nothing. I know, dude. I get so many people that hit me. Oh, dude, you got to watch this. It's just like 2 hours long. Just watch. Like, I don't have time.
This one's actually worth it. But Adam Ray is Joe Biden. He's like, he's terrified, and Trump comes out like he's running his mouth, and Trump comes into this big entrance, sits down, and Biden's just staring at him. And Tony Hinchcliffe is laughing off his ass. He's like, Mr. President Biden, you do not look well. And he's just staring at him. His mouth's open. He takes off his aviators. He's like, who just shit my pants? It's a throwaway line, but it's so damn funny. Yes, Jane, it does look like Joe Scarborough is shitting his pants. That's for sure. And I know that they've brought up, hey, maybe we should reinvestigate this, the death of your intern, Joe Scarborough. What do you have to hide? And why are you such a willing mouthpiece for the deep state NBC outlet? As Kenneth's dentist like to say, you can't handle the truth. No, I think we cannot handle the truth these days. Okay, so here's the clip here about balanced platforms. I think this one's fantastic. Blake, set it up for us.
Okay. I was wondering if I got this confused. Okay, this is the one I want to see. Okay, perfect. Yes, so they got a new star on the network, CNN, except he's not one of their normal on-air talents. He is talent.
Oh, by the way, you know who they said is going to be the new press secretary, the press correspondent for CNN?
No.
That Caitlin Collins person. Who says you even got to credit her? She's got a look to her, doesn't she? You've mentioned this before.
Yeah.
Rugged facial structure.
Very handsome young lady. I don't know. It's just different. Whatever. Don't care. It's not gonna petty stuff. Not gonna go there. But as a journalist, as an analyst, she's I don't know.
A pure lightweight. And a nasty person, as I've said many times. They said, "Sir, is she good or bad?" I said, "Oh, Caitlin's a nasty person. Real nasty." Okay, so here we go. This is CNN on a panel. They're talking about news sources and why people get the news from where they do and what they think and what types of people are going to which sources for news.
Right, here we go.
Also, I heard what you're saying about X. I saw a survey this week. It's now the most ideologically balanced user platform.
Scott, stop. It's too early.
Oh, they're freaking out because he's like the one, contrarian voice here, because the rest of them they're corporate script readers. So they're never going to admit that, yeah, they've been biased. They have misled their viewers because they can't say like, oh yeah, sorry, we got off the rails the last few years, because no one's going to trust them. Or they've got to continue to play that narrative like, no, like we're cool and it's X and everybody else that's gone, far right, or they've gone to the extremes. No, they have gone to the extremes. They are a radically different network than they were 20 years ago. And Scott Jennings has arrived as a new superstar, calling them out on their BS on a daily basis. And I'm here for it. This is great. So let's continue to roll.
Yeah, just sit down. I've only been here for 2 minutes. You cannot continue to say you cannot say that. So not the case.
You cannot say that. Yeah, normally your boss would say you're not allowed to say that kind of shit on air.
By the way, a 6-person panel, everyone talking over each other. What producer believes this is a winning strategy? I know the 5 does it. They have their 5. I guess it's just crosstalk is the least palatable form of communication on earth to me.
They're trying to
other
keep
than
each other in
Kamala
line.
Harris laughing.
Well, even if those other people believed it, they would never say that. So it's kind of like he's sort of like breaking the rules, and they're trying to pull him back in line. And I'm surprised they keep having him on there. I think that's awesome. That's gaining them credibility to have an alternative voice. And it's actually probably doing better for their ratings than anything else, because there's no way I would ever tune into CNN anymore unless you're going to show me, Scott Jennings clips, because these are gold. So
yeah, he needs a promotion. He should get his own show.
I don't know if it'll be within that network, but maybe they will. I mean, why not? Yeah. So they've kept him on this long, and let's let him cook. And he's pushing back on all the crazy. So here we go.
Source of that. What I find, we reported it on this network.
It's not accurate, and you know it.
For a couple seconds,
it's not accurate, and you know it. She's going to henpeck him. Yes, we're the source of news. We're a trusted source. CNN. You got to get all your info from us. Yeah, it's crazy, Elon.
Look at me. Look at me. I am the news now. But it's hilarious. Who's your source? What's your source? Like they have a it's an addiction to authoritarianism where they have to take their orders from. They need marching orders. Who's your source? Is it a pre-approved source? Because if it's not pre-approved source, then I can't even listen to it. I literally can't even, you guys. Who's your source?
Yeah.
So that's what they start yelling about, and then he tells you what the source is, which is great.
So here we go.
Okay, I'll let you make your
Scott,
statement. But my point is
can I reframe it a different way? Because the site changed radically, right? So whether you think the voices it is somehow more balanced now, that's fine. But no doubt Musk's influence is profound, and that you open it up and now you're there with his opinion, and he is now part of this administration. So does anyone else think that there should be this greater concern about billionaires purchasing media companies?
Okay.
Like Bezos?
She said, yeah, without mentioning Soros or Ted Turner,
my God,
Carlos Slim. I mean, there's a lot of those. And Bloomberg.
Wasn't Rockefeller? We want to go back to the days of yellow journalism. William Randolph Hearst. My God.
I mean, their network from Ted Turner. Billionaire, right?
Yeah.
Or is he
married Hanoi Jane?
Yeah.
Ted Turner decided to marry Hanoi Jane Fonda.
Huffington, is she worth $1 billion? I don't even know. But a lot of those companies are
Ariana Huffington Post, yeah.
And there's a point to be made. I don't believe that there should be billionaires because they have way too much money and power. But side issue, the point is she's oblivious to the fact, you're going to criticize Elon. He's a billionaire and he's influencing it, without just zero awareness of how many liberal leftist billionaires run media outlets, including arch-villain Soros at the very top.
Buying up all the radio stations. Now, did you skip past the part where he tells what the source is?
Yeah, he's coming. It's coming up.
It is okay, because I saw this clip. I didn't have the lady in the blue jacket in the middle.
Yeah, because there's one other name that needs to be mentioned, and it's coming up.
Would you be worried if Bill Gates controlled MSNBC?
No, because he's sane.
Because
he's sane.
MS
also.
And then the clip cuts off right there. As MS, Microsoft, and then here's a good little meme. Yeah, delete this. It's like they cut it off right at the very end when they started mentioning. And that's what Elon Musk is saying. Listen to the end of the clip, because it's Bill Gates running big money into MSNBC, Turner behind CNN, Slim at the New York Times, Bezos at the Washington Post. Bloomberg. How many outlets does Soros run? I mean, it's staggering. So yeah, Elon just running a social media platform and just letting people be themselves and not shutting people down. It's come into balance, and they've shown that statistic. It's like 48, 49%, something like that. It's pretty ideologically balanced place to get news, where most other things are blatantly leftist. So, very interesting. Yeah. So they got called out on it. Very good.
Yeah. Let me see if I can toss this, because there was a part of this that was supposed to be there that
I saw a survey this week.
Hang on.
Ideologically
accurate, and you know it.
I'll let you make your statement.
Scott, can I?
It's not accurate.
What I find, we reported it on this network.
Yeah, maybe it was part. It was just this that I just wanted to drill down. Who's your source? Who's your source?
We reported it on this network.
It's not accurate, and you know it.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, it's supposed to
Who the
jump.
fuck is she to make that declaration? It's not accurate.
Here's the
How does it
second
do it?
part of it.
Well, there it is.
Well, where is the clip?
4837.
Among those who
Here we go. This is the one I was trying to play, and this is why I was like, "Where's the second part?"
User platform.
Scott,
of any
stop,
platform.
stop. It's too early. I just
I
sat
know.
down. I've
You're
only
gonna-
been here for 2
you're gonna
minutes.
be
You cannot
embarrassed.
Too early. I just sat down. Who told her to put leaf rakes on the tops of her eyelashes?
continue to say.
the show.
You cannot say that.
So-
That's not the case.
So
Who's the source?
What I
Who's
find,
the
we
source?
reported it on this network.
Look
We
at this, the
reported it
40
on
ID
this network,
among
everyone.
those who regularly use X/Twitter for news. Back in 2022, 65% of those who regularly use Twitter/X for news were Democrats. Just 31% were Republicans. Look at where we are today. Just a completely different picture. Now it's basically split between Democrats at 48%, Republicans at 47%. And what I should note, Mr. Berman, is this new overall makeup matches the overall electorate far better.
And Blake,
I heard
that was a CNN report that he said, "Where's your source? Where's your source?" It's our network. Who's your source? Who's your source? CNN, lady.
Yeah. Yeah, it totally blows up in their face, and it's great to see. And she needs a reality check. But yeah, she's being the good corporate script reader. She's the yes man, whatever, yes woman. So she doesn't want to make waves. She wants to, let's keep a little spot on the show and then henpeck anybody who's getting out of line, like Scott Jennings. But usually it's a very comfortable space where they're all in ideological agreement. I'm surprised it's like not Brian Stelter.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's Scott Jennings, and it was great. And he's actually pushing back on these people. And CNN is finally watchable, or at least when he's on there.
Exactly.
So,
First time
good to
in a
see.
long time. All right. We got another story about Elon. Forgot to play that intro when the show started because we were all akimbo today. So X is more politically balanced than dusty legacy media. I added the word dusty so you can envision going on the windowsill and going, "Oh God, That's how I feel about legacy media. It's dusty, crusty. All right. Speaking of dusty, crusty, how about 3,000-year-old dusty, crusty? Blake, agree, disagree that Elon Musk is a 3,000-year-old time traveling vampire alien?
Agree. I mean, I don't know.
There you go.
He said as much. He's probably more alien than he is human. He is a extraordinarily rare type of person with his level of genius and know-how. And somehow he runs all these companies and he tweets all day. Like, I don't see where it's even possible that he has all the time in the world to do all this stuff. He is a working machine, or there's something more to this story. We don't know, but he was joking because it seemed like he was. It's like he's like tweets throughout the night. I don't know. He's down there in the morning and all afternoon, at night. Like, he's constantly just putting out a lot of like really infotaining bangers. It's great stuff. But yeah, people are like, wow, this guy's got. How does he do it? So I guess he was joking. Here is this article. Let me pull it up.
Joking.
Out of the Star. Joking. He says he's a 3,000-year-old time-traveling alien who assumes identities. So we'll assume like Doctor Who or something.
Great show. Great show. Who's your favorite doctor?
I don't know the show enough to do. I watched it a few times when I was a kid. I never really got into it. I would just kind of catch the occasional episode, and it was kind of cool. But I have no. I'm really not a Doctor Who fan. I just know of it. I know the music, and I know some of it. And he's Time Lord, and he changes bodies every once in a while. They have a new actor, and the show's been in syndication for like 40, about as long as I've been alive. 40, 50 years. Brian, are you a Doctor Who fan?
Yeah, you would love it actually. I think you.
I
think
I would like it, but I just don't have
as long as
time
you
for
could play it
that.
on speed time and a half. As long as you could play it time
Sure.
and a half. I like David Tennant. I like David Tennant as Doctor Who for sure. Matt Smith was awesome too. I got more into like the later incarnations, and I admit I didn't really watch much after them. Christopher Eccleston was good too. Liked him a lot. Then I kind of stopped watching it. I got rid of cable, and I found better things to do with my time.
I love Rick and Morty side issue, but for my sci-fi entertainment amusement. But okay, so I guess besides Elon, who is let's see, let's get back into this. He says it's official. He says, well, if you believe everything a tech billionaire says on his platform, the honcho sparked amusement from his fans when he claimed to be a time-traveling vampire alien. Richest man on earth claimed he was tired of assuming other people's identities over the centuries and was amusing himself in the process. I don't know if this is his old picture of his last life as Raymond Kolishaw from 1914. I don't know. But the fact that he is such a high-level genius and has so many companies and he's the richest man on earth, one of the smartest people on earth, makes you wonder. Maybe he's actually not. He could just be joking about this. And one of those things I've heard, even though it's deep into the conspiracy stuff and I can't give it any credibility, was that he was somehow like he's like the Anunnaki like ambassador or something on Earth. And that, I don't know. When you put that all together, it certainly is, at least it has a chance. It could be. He's not a normal person by any means. And he was born into a rich family. Yeah, his father was rich. Like there is, he's quite he's really probably the most interesting character on the planet. I don't think
Jane Fonda driving electric Honda. My anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, son.
Yeah.
Doing workout tapes by Fonda. You know that one? Who's that?
Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Baby got back. They've kind of changed what UFOs are. Our whole lives, it's like, beings from outer space, and they're doing their thing out there. And they've really kind of changed UFO to UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena. I think they've kind of tried to change them to.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like a lot of rebrands. It's like you can call it X all you want, but it's still Twitter. You can it's Progressive Field. No, it's not. It's Jacobs Field. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, that being said, there's more conversation now than there maybe ever has been that there are beings on this planet that have been on this planet forever. And a lot of these craft that we see, they're like an automated, self-replicating, self-repairing entity, like a drone, an autonomous drone fleet that lives in the ocean. The Earth is what, 70% ocean? What is it, 60%, 70%, 80% ocean?
Covered in water, yeah, at least the surface, right?
And so the easiest place to hide out would be in the water, in the depths, places that we never go.
Or Antarctica is one of the frequently placed.
Antarctica.
Where they go. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the flat Earth concept and the ice wall. But
God,
Tartaria.
that stuff is so retarded, those people. It's just gone. I don't.
Kenneth is asking, wait, hold on. He's an old Russian dude. He was a Bolshevik. A Bolshevik. Yeah, like a Bolshevik. No, but they're saying that like maybe these aliens have been here for a long time, forever, and they're still here and they're not going anywhere, and they do mesh with us. Hence some of the moon saloon concepts that are going to be explored. But yeah, it's very interesting.
Hundreds of thousands of years, perhaps even. Like we're very new here. We're like the latest experiment.
And the moon really is the all-seeing eye. It's not a galactic body. It's
It doesn't make much sense. I don't think any of the other moons on any of the other planets are as close. They don't have the gravitational effect.
And
Which
they
is also
say
weird
that
because
it moves further away every year, maybe.
Yeah, with the tides and the fact, there's a lot of weird things with the moons. It does seem like it's perhaps unnatural. It's not like a part of the Earth. Like it came along a lot later, and then it has an effect on the tides and the planets. And yeah, it is going down into the rabbit hole into some weird shit. But
well, speaking of unnatural, Bobby Kennedy Jr. is going to try to take all of that toxin. All that the toxicity out of our food supply because we're getting fat here. We're talking about flat Earth and kind of said the fat Earth, PHAT, pretty hot and tempting. Fat.
It blows my mind that people are still pushing that. It's insane. They're very angry people too.
But what if it is true?
Well, that's fine. I mean, I don't get the whole idea. I get why they keep a lot of things that are conspiracies. But why would they have a conspiracy to like prevent people from knowing the Earth is flat? That's where they lose me. They can get into all the physics all they want about how fast shit moves and around the galaxy, but that's fine. But I mean, ultimately, what is the purpose of them like covering this up and then somehow it's like some fucking ice wall around everything? I just I can't get it. So it's just all a big psyop. Not that I'm a scientist. Maybe it's flat. I think it's fucking retarded. Anyway. Brian, maybe I'm wrong. Correct the record here. Am I wrong?
Remember we were filming that flat Earth or that conspiracy segment on the Santa Monica Pier, and that guy out of nowhere, we were interviewing somebody else, and they're talking about the flat Earth, and like, ha ha ha, some people even believe in that. And that interview ended, and someone beelined over and went, hey, did you just talk about flat Earth? My friend is all about the flat Earth. Can he come over and talk to you about the flat Earth? He wants to talk to you about the flat Earth. I'm like, well, okay. And he was all about the flat Earth. And like, just here's the microphone. You go. Talk all you want. If we're talking about all the things that could potentially be, fine. I will listen to your thoughts on the flat Earth. Fine. Yeah, they're out there for sure. And so are 3,000-year-old time-traveling aliens.
They could be very aggressive. They can be pretty nasty people too. Not like it's okay. You know, you trust me, you'll come back to it. Like no, they'll be really upset at you if you think that the Earth is round.
Yeah, I like people that are willing to look. Science, there's no such thing as settled science. You should be debating and questioning every day of your life, trying to figure out what's what and test new hypotheses like all day. There is no settled science. I don't ever want to hear that phrase again. They locked people up, Copernicus and all of these astronomers. How dare you say something different? Although the Bible does talk about a firmament and kind of like a dome, like a globe, like a Truman Show. But I digress on all that. But yeah, it's interesting. If Earth was a video game, Elon Musk is playing it at the highest level. He's an advanced character in this. His hit points, his resources, his defenses, his attacks, like he in this game of RPG, he is leveled up. And it feels like it's not his first time playing this game. He's a wily veteran, it would seem. That's for damn sure. Anything else on Elon being a 3,000-year-old time-traveling alien vampire?
Who knows? I believe in spiritual evolution, and maybe we've done multiple lifetimes, but there's something to be said for him. He's definitely just one out of a billion people. He's truly extraordinary. He's like Tesla, another one of those, just super engineer, way ahead of his time.
You're one in a million. That's what you are. You're one in a million. You're a shooting star. That's Axl Rose. That's on the same one. Appetite for Destruction. You're one in a million. That is wild. That's called. They call it a weave. They say I'm going to talk about Axl Rose, and I'm going to be about Elon and vampires, and weave it back to Axl Rose. Call it the weave, the wide weave. Okay, Mr. Blake, what about this one? We were talking about Elon and censorship and what's going on with X. There's this Bluesky thing. I don't know, Blake, how do you love being on Bluesky? Is it fantastic?
Haven't used it. I would only go there just so I could troll all the leftists that ran from Twitter.
Yeah,
That
I would
would
go
be-
there to claim my name in the company name just to like have a presence to.
Oh, so nobody like, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a good idea. Yeah.
So you don't get spoofed and just be like, hey, for a real conversation, join us on X. You guys enjoy censoring yourselves over here. Nitwits. He called us a nitwit. You got to censor him. Oh, the humanity. What's that guy crying about Britney Spears? What did he have to say? He's like, that's who I was channeling right there. Anyway, Blake disagree that Bluesky will fail over their mass censorship demands. Whoa, natural news again. 2 in the stack.
Yeah. So all the woke users, they've fled Twitter because they're getting their ideological ass kicked. But now they've overwhelmed the site with mass censorship demands. So users and advertisers who have left X, formerly Twitter, for Bluesky, and it's a platform co-founded by former Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey. That's disappointing. And so they've overwhelmed the site with mass censorship demands. So the high-profile celebrities have already migrated. Stephen King, Jamie Lee Curtis, Guillermo del Toro. Isn't he the? He was a great actor, right? If I'm getting him confused with anybody, from Snatch and The Usual Suspects and Fear and Loathing. Nope. Okay, good. Not him. Okay.
Are you thinking Benicio del Toro?
Benicio del Toro. Okay, thank you. Okay, good. All right, wasn't him. Not the same guy. I saw the name and I was like, oh shit,
That's this
him.
guy. That's this guy.
I don't even know who that is. Who's Guillermo del Toro?
He kind of talks kind of weird. He has a really weird way of talking.
Yeah, but he's had some great roles. He's also in Sin City. That was a cool movie too.
How is my impression of Benicio del Toro?
It depends on what movie you're referencing. Is it The Usual Suspects?
I don't remember.
But he was also kind of hard to understand in Fear and Loathing.
He's a hard to understand guy.
Right. Yeah, I suppose. But he's an interesting actor.
Well, Bluesky is not as interesting because they just want it to be a goofy, backward propaganda echo chamber, right?
Yeah, they have to find. Yeah, exactly. They have to go find a safe space. I don't understand this. I guess people can't admit they're wrong. So instead of just facing the music on Twitter, they're gonna go scatter, and then they're gonna have their own censorship issues over there. So it's just like children. They just don't want to be told a certain thing, so they just go running away. And they just increasingly get into a smaller and smaller echo chamber. So it's going to be hilarious to watch how this implodes, the latest version. What was it? Mastodon, and then they had some other one too, right? Or they had Threads. So you get those stupid alerts on Threads. I don't know who uses that.
Yeah, they always you scroll through Instagram, another trash company from Meta, and it's like you scroll and it like shows you things on Threads. You accidentally click something looks interesting. You're like, I don't want to be on Threads. Get off of here.
Yeah,
they're pushing it like crazy. I'm like, no. The action's on X. That's where I want to be. That's it. Like, why would I need to go to Threads? For the life of me. By the way, wasn't it funny how they said, would you be concerned about Bill Gates owning a media company? MSNBC, Microsoft, NBC. Wow. Just that part stood out to me as well. Calling back that was a frying pan to the face moment right there. That was a well-timed question. Nicely done. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what Bluesky is. I don't care. I'm on X. X is one of the only platforms that lets us stream, lets us actually communicate with the people who decide they want to follow the new American media. I appreciate it. Blake is at TV's Blake Walley. His site is thenextlevelnews.com. The new American media is at American_media_. And for tomorrow's Strictly Football show, at TNAM Football, at TNAM Football. It's the Strictly Football at on our thing. But yeah, we'll see about Bluesky. Like I said, I might go over there just to claim my space and talk some trash a little bit, and then redirect them back to the normal site. Other than that, I have no interest. Come on, we need another app like we need a hole in the head. There's enough.
That's like, that's like the Cracker song.
Is it?
What's the name of that one? Like the world needs another folk singer. Like I need a hole in the head. It's one of my favorite songs by Cracker, and I can't remember the name of it now. What the world needs now is a new Frank Sinatra, so I can get you in bed. What the world needs now. Another folk singer, like I need a hole in the head and something like that. Yeah.
Here we go, Blake. I don't know what the world may need, but I'm sure as hell that it starts with me, and that's a wisdom I've laughed at. I don't know what the world may want. Good stiff drink, it surely don't. So I think I'll go and fix myself a tall one. Because what the world needs now is a new kind of tension, because the old one bores me to death. Because what the world needs now is another folk singer, like I need a hole in my head. I don't know what the world may need, but a V8 engine's a good start for me. I think I'll drive and find a place to be surly. I don't know what the world may want, but some words of wisdom could come first. I think I'll leave that up to someone wiser. Because what the world needs now are some true words of wisdom, like la 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 la. Because what the world needs now is another folk singer, like I need a hole in the head. I don't know what the world may need, and I'll never grasp your complexities. I'd be happy just to get your attention. I don't know what the world may need, but your long, sweet body lying next to mine could certainly raise my spirits. So what the world needs now is a new Frank Sinatra, so I can get you in bed. What the world needs now is another folk singer, like I need a hole in my head. That is Teen Angst by Cracker. Cracker ass, Cracker.
Great song. I'm so glad I skipped out on LeBron's birthday and went to the Cracker concert.
They said, sir, they're calling it a weave. They're back to Cracker and holes in the head, back to Trump. I go, he sounded funny when he got shot. Shane Gillis. That's the weave. They call it a weave. Yes. All right. So Blue Sky sucks, and you can go over there if you want. Anything else on this one?
Nope. Do you know the song, Brian? Teen Angst?
No, but you have
you would have heard it. You should definitely listen to that.
What is the best Cracker song?
Oh man, he's got a bunch. Let me pull up, since you're gonna put me on the spot there.
Lonesome Johnny Blues, I Hate My Generation, Mr. Wrong, Big Dipper, Get Off This, Euro Trash Girl, Sweet Thistle Pie, Guarded by Monkey.
Oh, I love Sweet Thistle Pie. They didn't play that one either because I think they have to have the background vocalists. On my Spotify, it says I like 10 songs. So yeah, Teen Angst.
Merry Christmas, Emily, Get Off This, Someday.
Get Off This.
Movie Star, Take Me Down to the Infirmary.
Yeah,
Turn on
Happy Birthday to Me, I See the Light, 7 Days, Sweet Thistle Pie. Low was their biggest radio hit.
Everybody Gets One for Free. The World Is Mine. I Hate My Generation. Teen Angst. Happy Birthday to Me. Dr. Bernice. Shine. Maybe Shine is one. Euro Trash Girl.
And then turn on, tune in, drop out with me. That's another one of my favorites. So they got like 10. They've got probably 5 other ones that I like. So they actually have a pretty big library. So
hey, Don't you want to go down like some junkie cosmonaut?
Yeah, that's Low, right?
Yeah,
that was their biggest hit.
All right,
but they're a great band.
All right. Tell us your favorite band in the chat section. Tell me who you're going to be listening to this Thanksgiving weekend. So put on your yarmulke, because here comes... That's not a Thanksgiving song, but I kind of always remember it at Thanksgiving for some reason. Another Adam Sandler.
Time. All right.
Anything else on Blue Sky? No.
It is a turkey song. Adam Sandler.
Turkey for you.
Yeah.
Turkey for me. Let's eat the turkey in a big brown tree. Turkey lucky do and a turkey lucky dap. I ate my turkey and I take a nap. Thanksgiving is a special night. Jimmy Walker used to say dynamite. That's right. Okay, moving on. If a show could ever be accurately described as off the rails, I think we're officially there with this one, and I'm loving it. I'm fucking here for it. Okay, Blake.
Might be our last show till next week, right? We're not going on Thanksgiving, so.
Yeah, I guess that probably. Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Thanksgiving special, and then
Thanksgiving.
Yep, and then unless you do a special football show tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll do a strictly football show tomorrow. I think normal time, 5:00. I think
Right.
with TV's Mike Barrett.
Wednesday. Well, then Mike's gonna be doing 3 shows tomorrow because he's got the regular that he does, and then he's gonna do the football, and then I think he does the Whiskey and Wisdom with Mark Z on Wednesday nights too. So he's got 3 shows.
Yeah, he's mentioned the Whiskey and Wisdom. Like, it sounds interesting. I feel like joining him for one of these Whiskey and Wisdom. He's like, it's where I offer bad advice. I'm like, all right,
yeah,
bad advice sounds good.
Bad dating advice. Yeah, Mark Z's he's a really a nice guy.
All right. Okay. Promote your show tonight. You're doing a show tonight with Mike as well.
Yeah. Toxically Masculine Tuesday. Oh, all right. It's coming up close. We're like an hour and a half away. Because this show started late and it's also going late. It's already at the 2 hour and 20-minute mark. So, anyway, yeah, it's coming up. So it's a quick break, and then I'll be back on the air for another round table with Mike Barrows, Steve Doran, and Dr. Brooks Agnew.
Heck yeah, good stuff. Go find that and check out Blake. He's at TV's Blake Walley and thenextlevelnews.com. Yeah, Spanksgiving, Kenneth, for the S&M crowd. There's Thanksgiving and Spanksgiving.
Sounds fun, yeah.
Like going to Rocky Horror. Do you ever go to Rocky Horror Picture Show? You go see it live.
Oh no, I didn't even see it till about 7-8 years ago. I was probably like 2014 or 2015 by the time I actually it's on fucking cable and I'm gonna watch it. Like, that's how long it took me to actually get there.
I went to photograph it for the BG News when I was a photographer at my college newspaper, at the Clazel Theater, an old 100-year-old, 200-year-old theater in the center of town. And they play the movie, but while the movie's playing, there's actors on stage dressed as the characters, and they're participating, and they're interacting with the movie, interacting with the crowd, and doing stuff. And they bring up all the virgins. Anyone that hasn't been to one of these, you come up on stage and you get on your hands and knees and you crawl underneath the legs of people that are standing in a row, and you get spanked. You go through a spanking machine. They all go pop, 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 pop. Everybody, you get a spanking machine. It's a whole thing. I do remember one particularly. I do remember one actress wearing the official garb of the flick. She was very she filled the role nicely. She filled the role nicely, as I recall. And I think I even have pictures down somewhere. Man, I should go pull those out. I haven't seen that in a long time. Anyway,
you saw your movie with the other day? No.
What movie with? Oh yeah, no, God, that was
Bedazzled. What was that one? Was
Wicked.
it any good?
Was Wicked any good?
Wicked, yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah, if you feel like giving it a shot, it's kind of like the prequel to Wizard of Oz, and it's kind of like the origin story of the Wicked Witch and Galinda, the nice witch. But when I won't tell you who plays Wizard of Oz, but no, there's toward the end of the movie. I don't want to say too much if you haven't seen it.
You don't have to. I saw the clips and I was like, God, please tell me they're not remaking the fucking Wizard of Oz. That's going to be
no. It's Wicked has been on Broadway for 25 years or 20 years. Or
oh, okay. So nothing new.
It's a prequel that takes that universe, but tries to do an origin story. But the Wicked Witch, she kind of takes the side of independent media, if you will. And the conversation was like, you're the Wicked Witch. You're doing what they did to reject the offer from the wizard, because the wizard's creating an enemy so that he can keep the people divided, and you aren't going to participate in that system. It's interesting. So I would recommend it for that reason alone, the whole build up to that, and kind of And I guess it's only part 1, so I don't know if they're going to have just part 2 or if there's more parts coming, but I think maybe one more year they'll do their second one. But it could win both of those actresses Best Actress nominations. And if so, how do you even figure out which one of them gets it? Which would get it? Because they both did a good job in the movie.
All right, well.
People in Boston find it wicked awesome. It's a wicked pisser. It's a wicked pisser. Okay, Blake. Speaking of Boston, let's go to another Sanctuary City conversation here. Agree or disagree that Sanctuary City mayors should be arrested for defiance, Blake? Do you agree or disagree? This seems to be sweeping the nation, and Tom Homan is here for it. Man, if this guy is built for what's about to happen. And by the way, I know some independent journalists that are saying this is going to be the next thing. It's not going to be riots in the streets. It's going to be when ICE goes, there will inevitably be problems. And when it happens, this is going to be like the hot story of the year. This is where all the media is going to put all their attention to the bad guy that going after people that snuck into the country. They snuck in. They didn't pay for a ticket at the movie theater, but they should be able to sit wherever they want, including your seat. You know what? You should pay extra money for your ticket because we have to fund those that just can't fund their ticket. No popcorn for you. Give it to the illegal alien. Sanctuary cities have gone bonkers, Blake. What's going on here? What say you? Should the mayors be arrested for defiance in a sanctuary city?
I guess, yeah, agree. It depends. Yeah, if people are here illegally, they've overstayed, they're, challenging our laws, or if they're shouldn't have been here in the first place, or if it's these gang members, they should absolutely be removed, deported. And any mayor who stands up for that is insane. I wouldn't get it. I wouldn't want to be one of them. I wouldn't want to defy the federal government to protect Tren de Agua or whatever. I mean, come on.
Tren de Aragua. Where is your allegiance? Your allegiance should be to the people of your community. I don't know. This Obama doctrine, it is so divisive and destructive. They've ruined Canada. They've ruined Europe. It's just dumping non-citizens into these countries to just destroy their culture, destroy their shared experiences, just trying to erase sovereignty amongst nations. And I like a little bit of sovereignty because not all nations do the same thing, and not all nations are as good as the other ones, frankly. And I'm really tired of America being a trash nation led by people like Harris, Biden, Obama, all their puppet masters. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I agree. And there's going to have to be a reckoning for all of this. And they're going to have to undo from this. These are the policies from the Harris-Biden administration to allow untold millions of people to come over here illegally, not stopping and incentivizing them. And now it's become a problem. And there's a lot of criminals amongst those groups. And they absolutely must be reported. This is a security issue, and they must be removed. And the sanctuary cities, I get it, but it's gotten out of control. And in fact, Brian, I know you sent me I couldn't find, that was one of the other parts I was going to share that you told me about. Here it is. So in Frederick, Maryland, the mayor, Michael O'Connor, announced that he's creating a fund using tax dollars to help illegals pay for legal fees to fight their deportations once Trump takes over. I mean, that is
stealing money from Americans to give it to non-Americans again. It's what the residents in the Bronx were furious with. It's what people in Chicago were furious with. What are they doing, taking our money and giving it to people that are not from here? We have people here that are struggling. Help our homeless. Help our veterans. Oh, you don't have a workforce in Springfield, Ohio? Fucking train them. Oh, well, they're on drugs. Stop the fentanyl coming in from the borders of Mexico and Canada. By the way, I don't know if you saw the tariff story. I had it in the stack. I've tweeted it out at American_media_. But Trump's announced that he's going to add an instant 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico because they're not stopping people from flooding into the United States. So they're going to hold them accountable economically. Guess what? They've both come to the negotiating table. They've both had conversations and they're both ready to stop this, and I think in Mexico, Scheinbaum, the Mexican leader, she said that the caravan headed up is going to be stopped. We'll see if that actually happens. And Trudeau said, I had a productive conversation with President Trump, and we're going to work together to blah, 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 blah. They do not want their economy to crumble, and they know Trump's not fooling around. They know that he's not going to be putting up with this stuff. American dollars need to be spent on Americans. And if they got a problem with the workforce at the factory in Springfield, train the Springfieldians. If they have chemical abuse, substance abuse problems, help get them clean. Spend our money on our people to save our communities. Don't flood them with non-Americans to try to replace them. God, common sense. I'm so happy that we've avoided the calamity of, imagine what would happen with the DEI policies, the military, the border, if Kamala Harris and the Democrats were able to steal another election. My God, Blake, we'd be toast. I'd be going, I would be sailing to that Arctic wall saying, take me now, Captain Bird, take me now. I would.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know what would happen. It would be a disaster. And thankfully, we don't have to deal with that shitty timeline, at least in this world.
Yeah, not this time around. Did you want to play this clip, or you essentially got the gist of it there?
Yeah, I think I just got the gist of it. And just, yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, if he wants to set up his own private money and ask for donations and they want to fight deportations, go ahead and do it. But the fact that you're going to use our fucking taxpayer money, I mean, whatever, at least maybe it's over in Maryland or Massachusetts or wherever he's from. But that's insane that they would even consider something like that. And people should be outraged. Like, who the fucking digging?
Yeah.
No, there is no business doing that. Just slapping you in the face.
Mm-hmm.
These people are here illegally, and I'm going to use your fucking money to keep them here. Fuck off. No, that guy should be removed. Absolutely.
Exactly. Well, luckily, people like Tom Homan, they seem up to the task, Blake. Here he goes on Fox.
You're absolutely breaking law. All you have to do is look at Arizona versus U.S. You'll see these breaking law. But look, me and the Denver mayor, we agree on one thing. He's willing to go to jail. I'm willing to put him in jail. Because there's a statute. It's Title 8 United States Code 1324 III. And what it says is, it's a felony if you knowingly harbor and conceal an illegal alien from immigration authorities. It's also a felony to impede a federal law enforcement officer. So if we don't want to help, that's fine. He can get the hell out of the way. But we're going to go do the job. President Trump has a mandate for American people. We got to secure this country. We got to save American lives.
Agreed. I mean, we have an adult in the room now. Like, I don't care what the Democrats promised you, illegal alien invaders. I'm sorry you were duped. I'm sorry you went through God knows what conditions coming up Eagle Pass, God knows what conditions trekking through El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Ecuador, everything to get through Mexico, to cross in, to try to get flown or bused to some place, and you get hotel vouchers. You think it's the American dream. I apologize on behalf of the Democrat Party who used you, thought that they were going to try to create fake votes with you so that they could boost their numbers in the blue cities that hemorrhaged people. They wanted to just count you on the census so they could keep more congressional seats, trying to create fake ballots in your name so that they could rig an election to keep bad guy Donald Trump out of office. You got played by the Democrats, not us. We never invited you in here. They were trying to rig the system with the Obama doctrine. What he's done, flooding Europe, England, Ireland, pick your country, the United States, Canada, just trying to flood non-Canadians into Canada, non-Americans into America. That's the Democrats. That's the deep state people. If you got a beef, you got it with them. You want to come in this country? Look, I have very simple requirements. Learn the language, assimilate, wait in the back of the fucking line like the rest of the people. There's a lot of good people trying to do this the right way. Sneaking in, not the right way. Not the right way. Doing what the Democrats did, we kicked the Democrats out because they're out of their minds. So if you got a problem, it's with the Democrats. You want to come in, you go back to the port of entry, you do it the right way. We run a massive background check to make sure. By the way, the Biden administration with Harris, they were the ones saying, you can't work in federal government unless you take a COVID jab. You can't serve in the military unless you take this jab. You must put this thing inside of your body, the same type of thing that Harvey Weinstein would tell the actresses. If you put this thing inside of you, maybe you can get some work. That's exactly what the Democrats were saying. If you stick this thing inside of you and squeeze the juice, now it's getting gross, then you get to stay in America and keep your job and get some work. Well, these are the people that allowed 30 million people to flood, non-Americans, to flood across our southern and northern border without getting screened for criminal background, for physical background, to not even know if they are jabbed yet. This is all insanity, hypocritical, contradictory, globalist nonsense, and we voted it the hell out of office because the adults are in the room now. So once again, if you got duped, you got duped by the Democrats. If you want to come in, assimilate, wait in line, port of entry, huge background check, and come in and be of value. You're not going to come in here and mooch off of our system. You should be prohibited from moochabilities. No moochabilities. You come in and bust your ass and be productive. And if you can't be productive, you can go back. We don't have enough to take care of our own people. We're not taking care of you. Sorry. That's a Democrat thing. They lied to you, not us. Back in the line, Jose. Back in line. But it goes for Jose. It goes for Victor. It goes for Esmeralda. I don't know. Give me some names from give me some names.
Hector.
Yeah, these are all no. I need some European names. Gustav.
I don't know.
Vladimir. I don't care where you're from. It's not. I've been to Mexico. I like Mexico. I speak Spanish as much as I can. Me gusta. I think it's bueno. I think it's cool. Like, that's fine. But you got to do it the right way. That's all I'm saying. So, whew.
Okay.
Any final thoughts on immigration, Blake, and the sanctuary cities?
No, it should be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out.
Heck yeah, me too. All right. Anything you want to tell people one more time, where to find you, anything special? Oh, maybe the documentary. Didn't mention it once today. Remind people about it.
You do the documentary, and then I'll say, right.
We made a documentary. We went down. Man, we should go again. I've been thinking about him and that place and stuff lately. But we toured Southern Virginia in through Tennessee and into North Carolina to tour the Hurricane Helene damage. Blake and I put a documentary together with the help of Grizzly from Grizzly Tattoo called Hurricane Helene Help on the Way. And we found some great sponsors in the TNAM universe who donated through us that went directly to Grizzly. People who donated from Lowe's and Advance Auto Parts and Dick's Sporting Goods to fill up my 4Runner. Jam-packed, filled, from the bottom to the top. Oh, build your own bug out bag as well. But yeah, we dropped off a ton of supplies. Then from the tattoo shop, we went in and hit a couple of locations along the way. Check out the mini documentary that Blake did such a great job editing and co-producing and starring in and all that jazz. Hurricane Helene Help on the Way. It's on Blake's channels. It's also on the New American Media channels. Hurricane Helene Help on the Way. So yes, Blake, it's a good project. I'm glad we did it. We got to see a little bit of the world in the process and help tell that story and help some people out. But yes, tell people where they can find you and your work, good sir.
I got to get caught up on my website. I'm a little behind on
Same
my
here.
archive as I've been moving. Oh, you're behind by like a few years. I'm behind by a couple of weeks. So I don't have many of the latest shows on, but they will be on the YouTube. But yes, you can check out thenextlevelnews.com, and I will have most of that stuff up soon. I'll probably get settled and figured it caught up after the month of November. So, but yes.
After the cold November rain?
Sure. The cold November rain. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, what else do I have? You can follow me on Twitter. The next TV's Blake Walley. And then I will be on tonight in about an hour and 4 minutes. Yes. I think with Toxically Masculine Tuesday with Mike Barra, Steve Doran, and Dr. Brooks Agnew. The another round robin. I'm losing my mind. It's already been 2.5 hours on this show.
The most clever round table on all the internet. What do you say?
Yes. Something like that, right?
Most informative roundtable on the internet.
That'd be about fair. Okay, give me a better roundtable. I think that's a good. Dr. Brooks says that frequently, and I think he makes a good point.
Yeah, it is
hard to find a better roundtable on the internet than what we can present. Not just me, but but there's a lot of smart people on that. So I'm just the fourth guy, but it's good times. So check that out. It'll be on Mike Barra's Twitter feed. It'll be on Rumble, YouTube, all that good stuff. We'll see you there. I'm gonna have some coffee and a snack, and I'll be back in an hour, recharged, revived, and ready to go.
All right. Well, you go have a great time tonight, Blake. Appreciate you as always.
Thank you, everybody, and Brian, great job. And we'll see you next week probably, because I'm probably not going to do a Thursday show, Brian.
Yeah, it's that time. Yeah, who knows? Maybe Friday, Saturday. Maybe I'd be down. Who knows? But yeah, maybe next week we'll figure it out. Not too concerned about it. We've been crushing. We've been doing a really great job, staying consistent and knocking out. Really, if you don't want to be bombarded with the news your entire life, you can tune into us twice a week and get caught up on a lot of the biggest stuff. And just follow us on socials on X, and you're gonna have a lot of good information coming at you in a way that makes sense. Blake for eye candy. Jane is saying she loves the Tuesday night show. Yes, we see Jane in that Tuesday night show. I filled in. I'm an Alvaro Espinoza. I'm a bit of a role player off the bench. I can play shortstop, second base, third base, first. Just tell me where you need me, coach. Occasionally I jump in there. It's always a good time. So yes, check it out. Good show tonight. Okay, that's all I got for today. Blake, thank you so much. Thank you everybody for watching. We shall see you later. Appreciate you. We love you. Talk to you again soon. Take care.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Gobble, gobble, goo. Gobble, gobble, giggle. I wish turkey.